I think he's got it all to do here today because he is dropping back, although the soft ground just might help him distance-wise. But he's a great big horse again. Maybe he won't handle it.
And the Princess Royal there with Peter Phillips and Jackie Stewart, who is a close personal friend of hers. And in fact, they are right down at the start for this 6 furlong race, so they can get a real close-up view of these horses and watch them as they jump out of the stalls. And let's hand over now to our paddock team, Graham Rock, and first of all, Jimmy Lindley.
Thanks, Claire. Well, it's drizzling a tiny bit, but I do agree with Willie, with Cahal. It's the ground and the draw today. He's drawn 16. He might just be moving around. He's a very big horse. I had a good look at him in the paddock. He's had just the one run this season, and well, that was in the Lockinge when fourth behind Cape Cross at Newbury, and that day he didn't get the mile, but well, if he's got enough speed and he handles the ground, I think this stiff 6 would suit him, but I'm just a little bit hesitant with the soft ground and also the draw. What do you think, Graham?
I'm more worried about the draw than the ground. I think he'll go on the ground, and I don't think 6 will be a worry, but I can see it. There are only 12 runners now. There's been plenty of withdrawals, so perhaps Frankie might work his way across towards the stand side. But definitely a worthy favourite here. 5-2 favourite. That is Cahal, looking for 3 winners. Third winner of the afternoon for Godolphin and Frankie Dettori. Number 6 there. That's Dihim Diamond from France, and he won at Baden-Baden in May. Beat Cretan Gift by 1 3/4 lengths, and then was third to Sainte-Marine in the Prix de Gros at Chantilly, and that winner runs tomorrow. Let's join Jonathan Powell in the betting ring for the very latest news.
Well, the Frankie factor is beginning to play down in the ring here. 2 winners already, and Cahal a very solid favourite, although the ground and the draw might not be ideal. What's the latest price on Cahal, Neil?
He's a 5-2 favourite. Jonathan was put in at 9-4. Bookmakers were in a bit of a mess with this race with so many non-runners, but the market's now settled down. He's a 5-2 chance. I think if he was drawn anywhere other than right out on the other side of the course, the officers would be stepping in now to make sure he went off at 2-1 or even shorter. But with this real problem about the draw, which we saw in the second race, the one for money has been Zelding. One bookmaker put up 12, was knocked over for that, and it's since traded very well at 10, 9 and 8. It's got form in soft ground as well, Jonathan, which is so important here. Tomba's gone from 3 out to 4. The other French horse, Demon Diamond, from 6 out to 7, but there's been good money for that at that rate. Cretan Gift from 6 out to 9, and Andrea from 8 out to 10. But as I said, I think if this was drawn anywhere else, the officers would definitely be plunging in.
Well, of course, 2 or 3 years ago, Frankie Dettori took a lot of these bookies to the verge of bankruptcy. Are they frightened of him here?
No, I think, as I said, just a doubt bit about the ground, but more of the doubt about the draw. You know, this will be the worry here. And so far, it's been a fairly quiet race now, Jonathan. Really.
We shall see.
OK.
One Tomba goes into his stall 13, nice and quietly. A winner 4 times last year, 2 runs, blank so far this year. Quite a few still to go in. I think the draw is going to be pretty important here. Still
number 16 there on the inside, just going into that low stall, number 2 there. French filly's got decent form on soft ground. Let's join Jim McGrath in the grandstand for this Corconary Stakes.
Thank you, Graham. Rambling Bear, one of the last to link up here. 12 runners, goes in. Set now for the Corconary. That's it. Under orders, and they're away. Jumped as 1-2 on the near side. Bayleaf was one of the first away. Princely Air going very fast though in the early stages. Dihim Diamond for France is up there as well, and March Star with the red cap joins in as well. So it's March Star and Dihim Diamond stride for stride in the early stages. Cahal on the far side. Frankie's got an early posse. Up there too is Rambling Bear, and right in the centre Princely Air spreading them. Compton Places hard on their heels. Further back is Andreev on the near side as well, in company with Zelding hugging that rail. Up there too is Bayleaf in centre field, then Tomba out the back with My Best Valentine and Cretan Gift. About 8 lengths covers the field as they run onto the course proper at the 2.5, and on the far side it's Dihim Diamond about a neck in front here of Rambling Bear. Cahal is being popped the question in the blue colours the far side. Bayleaf is just behind them from Andreev, and further back is Princely Air. Tomba called on for an effort the far side, but it's Dihim Diamond who's just the leader as they come up to the final furlong now. Cahal under the whip. They're followed by Tomba joining in with a strong challenge the far side. 3 parts of a furlong left to go. Dihim Diamond being swamped by Tomba. Tomba going home best of all here, and Cretan Gift getting out late. but as they run towards the line, it's Tomba, too good for them. Goes on the wind well. Dihim Diamond second, and Andreev third. Cretan Gift absolutely flew and finished on their heels, followed by My Best Valentine, Rambling Bear. Cahal got tired. Princely Air did as well. Well back in the field, Zelding and company there with March Star and Compton Place. The July Cup winner at 50 to 1 has finished absolute last. Tomba, there he is, getting there from Dihim Diamond, who was up there all the way. Andreev is third. Fourth then is Cretan Gift with the red blinkers. But no doubt about the winner. That is number 10, Tomba, owned by J.R. Good, trained by Brian Mean and ridden by Michael Tebbett, has won the Corconorary Stakes, relishing the soft conditions here today. Second, number 6, Dihim Diamond, owned by Salon Suhail, trained by Carlos Lafon Parias and ridden by Olivier Vallier. And third, number 4, Andreev, owned by J. Palmer Brown, trained by Richard Hannon, ridden by Richard Hughes. And fourth, number 5, Cretan Gift, Kieran Fallon. Fifth was My Best Valentine, and sixth, Rambling Bear. That's the way they finished, and here's the winner, Tomba. Tomba, in fact, drew stall number 13, but he effectively came over towards the near side rail, and he came from a long, long way back.
Yes, Jim, a great bit of riding there from Michael Tebbett, because this horse absolutely loves the soft ground. He knew that. He knew he'd had no worries with the ground. Cahal there in the blue with Frankie Dettori. The bookies were hoping he wouldn't ride another winner, and the drop back in distance hasn't worked for him. And actually, as Willie said, the soft ground just proving too much for him. But Tomba is the one who goes and does it. Gosh, this soft ground, you've just got to pick a horse who loves it, don't you, Willie?
Well, that horse, he's a confirmed soft ground specialist. And today they've gone quite fast. Mind you, Diamond, he kept going. He made all the running, and he still finished second. He's run a very good race. And Andreev, who is running on there third, as you know, and it's not far behind, running on. But unfortunately, he just couldn't get there. But the confirmed soft ground horse has won the day. And a good ride by Mr. Tebbett.
Michael Tebbett, exactly. Getting every ounce of effort out of him for Brian Meehan, who used to be assistant trainer to Richard Hannon.
Yes, and of course Frankie Dettori's horse, a great big heavy horse. He got tired in the ground. That's all. He would prefer a little bit bounce in the ground to help him.
Well, Tom.
5 to 2. Kilimanjaro is 4 to 1 from 7 to 2. Courteous 13 to 2, having it opened at 6. Central Park, having touched 15 to 2 and 8 to 1, is now 7 to 1, and it's 15 to 2 bar. Now let's join Jim McGrath in the grandstand.
Thanks, Graham. Yes, starting to load up for this King Edward VII Stakes, televised live this year for the first time. Usually it's one of our races that's run when we're finished transmission, and the favourite now, Royal Anthem, is 2 to 1 as Curtis goes forward there for Pat Edry. They're just about ready, under orders, and they're away. And in the early stages, let's see if they head over towards the far side. They're not really in the early stages. Up there is Casino Captive, and also Kilimanjaro, and also there is Fruits of Love. They're all vying for the early lead, and they are getting away from that inside rail as they head down the side. Moutawaj with a white cap, and further back in the field, Courteous. As they settle down, though, it's Kilimanjaro showing out by 2 lengths to Fruit of Love, who's up there with the orange jacket on the inside of Royal Anthem, and out wider then is Dancing Phantom with a light green jacket. Further back is Casino Captive, the grey in the centre, from the white cap of Moutawaj, and then further back is Central Park in the royal blue colours, the first set of Godolphin colours. Courteous behind them in the dark green, followed by Scorned, who's second last, and Pegnitz is last of all as they continue their journey down into Swindley Bottom now. They've got short of 7.5 furlongs to travel, getting away from that inside rail, but actually not heading towards the extreme outside. But it's still Kilimanjaro who shows the way. 2 lengths to Casino Captive, then up on the outside in third follows Royal Anthem, then in fourth is Moutawaj with a white cap, and now heading over towards the far rail now, heading under the trees at this part of the course. It's Kilimanjaro in front of Fruits of Love with the orange jacket. Casino Captive up there as well. Then in fourth follows Royal Anthem. Behind them is Courteous, who's made ground from Moutawaj. They're followed by Central Park. Dancing Phantom's just been shuffled back a couple of places. 2 lengths to Scorn, and Pegnitz is out the back. Running up the side of the course now and nearing the half mile. The leader is Kilimanjaro out in front from Fruits of Love giving chase. Then Royal Anthem, the green cap on the outside. On the inner, starting to cut the corner already is Courteous as they cross over to the inside rail. Oh, there's a bit of bumping there. Fruits of Love in a lot of trouble on the inside as Courteous is on the inner. As they round the corner now, and the leader is Kilimanjaro from Royal Anthem, the favourite, drawing alongside. 2 lengths away then under the whip is Courteous from Casino Captive. Wider out then is Central Park, called on for an effort from Dancing Phantom. Into the straight inside the 2. The favourite Royal Anthem now takes it up from Kilimanjaro. Royal Anthem's gone 2 in front of Kilimanjaro. 3 or 4 lengths away Scorned. Followed further back by Central Park, Courteous and Dancing Phantom. Inside the final furlong, he's riding hard on Royal Anthem. He's still getting a response. He's 4 in front of Kilimanjaro. Starting to stop a little bit towards the line, but this has been a pretty good performance. Royal Anthem goes on to win the end with the 7th by 2 or 3 lengths. Kilimanjaro is 2nd, 3rd Scorn, 4th then Central Park, followed by Moudawaj, then Courteous, Dancing Phantom, Casino Captive behind them from Pegnitz, and Fruits of Love, who was in that scrimmage near the turn, is last to finish. The winner is number 9, Royal Anthem, bay colt by Theatrical out of Indion, trained by the Thoroughbred. Under orders and away for the Hardwick. Again heading towards that far side rail, and on settling down it's Frankie Dettori who goes on Swain, but being joined on the outside by Mick Cannan on Stage Affair. It's Stage Affair who takes it up from Posidonus in 2nd, then Swain settling 3rd. The pace is generous in the early stages. Further back is Germano, inclined to pull on the outside from Memorize, and further back Poseidon in the Star Jacket, and they were followed then by the Fly, who's back towards the rear of the field, very tightly grouped as they head down past the mile. The leader here, Stage Affair, going pretty fast. 3 parts of a length to Poseidon. A length further back then, I should say, Posidonus. A length away then is Germano pulling hard out wide. Memorize starting to boot up in the centre. Followed further back then by Frankie Dettori in the royal blue colours of Godolphin on Swain. They were followed further back in the field then by the Fly, who's racing on the inside of Poseidon as they hug that rail coming around the turn there out of Swindley Bottom this time. The leader here is Posidonus, just from Memorize. A length and a half further back to Stage Affair, who's dropped back to 3rd now, still in a lather of sweat. Then follows Swain, who's been beautifully positioned throughout as they head out towards the outside rail now under the trees. Then Germano, followed by the Fly, and further back Poseidon as they pass the 6. Still the leader is Posidonus by a length to Memorize, just getting a little bit of a squeeze there on the far rail. Joined by Swain, they're vying for 2nd spot. A length and a half further back then is Germano, still inclined to pull. Followed then by the Fly, who's starting to move up. Stage Affair has run his race, dropped back to 2nd last, and last of all then is Poseidon as they race up now towards the half mile. They're going to cut the corner again here, and the leader here is Posidonus, joined now by the favourite Swain, who's holding the inside rail as they come now around the turn. Then Memorize the outside, Germano in behind them, the Fly up against the rail. 4 lengths to Stage Affair has dropped out from Poseidon. They round the turn now, 2.5 furlongs to travel. Swain has set sail for the judge, about a neck in front of Posidonus. Then on the outside, Germano in 3rd, followed by Memorize. The Fly is under the whip. A long gap then to Poseidon. Inside the final 2 though, Swain on the far side is just the leader. He's finding it hard to shake them off. In fact, they're coming to him quickly. On the outside, Posidonus moves up, put his neck in front, but here's Germano on the near side. Germano and Posidonus. Swain is fighting back, but it's Posidonus in the centre just from Germano. Posidonus putting his neck out. By golly, this is a courageous win. Posidonus wins to Hardwick. In 2nd is Germano, 3rd Swain, followed then by Stage Affair, Memorize, then Poseidon, and the Fly last to finish. He just refused to be beaten, that horse. Number 5, Posidonus, owned by Athos Christodoulou, trained by Paul Cole and ridden today by Pat Edery, has held off Germano on the near side. And in 3rd, Swain, who went to the front on the home turn, and they were a long way ahead of the others. So the winner is number 4, I should say number 5. Number 5, Posidonus, ridden by Pat Edery at his most vigorous best, his 34th winner of the season. 2nd is number 2, Germano, owned by Baron von Ullman, trained by Jeff Ragg, ridden by Michael Roberts. And third, number 1, Swain, owned by Godolphin, trained by Syed Binsra, ridden by Frankie Dettori. Fourth Stage Affair, who dropped out and then ran on again. But this horse, Posidonus, always handily placed, and he has put up one of the most courageous displays you've seen for a long time.
Has Jim. The 2 times that he's met Swain before in the last 8 months, Swain has beaten him. In the Coronation Cup, Swain finished 2nd and Posidonus finished 6th. And also in the Arc de Triomphe last year, Swain finished 7th and Posidonus finished 9th. So he's turned that form around. You cannot fault him for bravery. Frankie Dettori going to the front plenty early enough on Swain. There'd been very little pace early on. A lot of these horses had been keen. And Pat Eddery taking over from Richard Quinn on Posidonus and riding Willie, one of his driving finishes.
Yeah, it's a famous race by Pat there. He's very strong in the finish. And of course, Swain, he needs a pacemaker. I'm sure they'll find one for him now because the race was run too slow for him. So stamina didn't come into it. And Pat Eddery there, he got fed up hanging on to his horse and he went to the front, right down its Swinley bottom. And Germano was always travelling well into the straight, pulling very hard and just couldn't get them back at the finish.
Germano has run a very, very good race in 2nd, but I think Paul Cole will be absolutely thrilled with Posidonus. 6 years old now and a real grand old campaigner.
But the story of the race was there was no pace.
Well, I'm sure we'll have another look at it a little later on, but for the moment, Jim, you're looking at events in the winner's enclosure.
Well, the winner scored by half a length officially, with 1.5 lengths between 2nd and 3rd. And the time was 2:34.79. 2:34.79. There's Posidonus in the centre. On the near side, Germano. And on the far side, Swain, who was, with Frankie doing the right thing, setting out for home fairly early. But he was being worn down in the final stages. Posidonus, though, the winner, ridden by Pat Eddery, trained by Paul Cole, and owned by Athos Christodoulou, who's had some very good horses over the years. A lovely head. Well, let's just check the SPs on the Hardwick Stakes.
The winner, number 5, Posidonus, returned at 15-2. Second, number 2, Germano at 8-1. And third, number 1, Swain, the 6-5 on favourite. A great result for the bookmakers there. The total returns win £8, places 230 and 380. Only 2 places for each way backers with that 7 runners. And the dual forecast 38-30, and the straight forecast £54, 56 pence. All 7 ran.
Well, the winning trainer, Paul Cole, is with Jonathan Powell right now.
Paul, you seem to have a wonderful knack of producing your horses to win at Royal Ascot, rather like Henry Cecil. That's your 2nd winner of the week, and you won't have trained many tougher horses than this one, Posidonus.
No, he's one of those horses that trainers really like to train. He's sound and he's genuine, and he really loves a scrap. You know, when you get into a scrap with him, he's quite difficult to beat.
Today everybody was making Swain a good thing and he'd heavily backed in the ring, but your horse has beaten him before and he's done it again here.
Yeah, well, Swain's a brilliant horse, but every horse has its own conditions, and these conditions suited us today. And you know, that sort of ground is his ground, and you know, when he gets into a battle, he's difficult to beat.
This old horse is 6 now, which is quite old for a full horse. You seem to have the ability to keep these old horses going year after year. You've had 3 equine millionaires. He's got a long way to go to reach £1 million, but how do you keep them so sweet?
Well, I seem to do quite well with the 2-year-olds, and then 2 or 3 years goes missing, and then we come back with them about 5 or 6 later on. I don't know, it's the horses, really. I've been lucky to have the horses.
He went to Hong Kong in the winter, didn't he, and very nearly picked up a big prize.
Yeah, he was a little bit off colour last year, generally. Some of my horses weren't quite right, and you know, this year he's absolutely spot on. You know, his coach shining, he's well in himself, so you know, it's all gone well for us, really.
Well, that's the Hardwick in the bag. Are you going to go up in class now and perhaps go for the King George with him?
Well, yes, you know, he has big entries, but you know, during the summer when it gets a bit firm, it's, you know, it's not ideal for him.
You'll so keep your powder dry, and perhaps would he end up in the Arc at the end of the season?
Well, yeah, I had a crack at the Arc last year. Mr. Christodoulou, he likes to have a crack at the decent races, so we'll all go along with him.
You certainly cracked it today.
Thank you.
Well, let's have a look back. As they came under the trees, Willie, you were saying the pace is the all-important thing in this race, and they hadn't gone fast enough early on.
They were all pulling going on to Swindon. Look at Mace Roberts behind there. He's pulling a tug there, you know, he's going really too strong. And Pat Edry, who got fed up of holding his horse, made the running. And you've only got sort of one horse being pushed, which is Keelan Fallon, and the pink cap. The Fly, he's got a bit tight on the inside there. Now the race is on. Frankie Dettori as well, he knows that he has to go early now because the pace has been so slow. So Frankie goes very, very early, thinking to make sure that the stamina comes out. And of course he's done the right thing by going on very, very early. But of course he gets worn out of it. Pat comes back again, and there is Mace Roberts on the outside. His horse is starting to finish. He has quickened up, but not quickened up well enough. Now it's down to strength, you know. Look at Posino Domus with his tongue hanging out there, and Pat Edry driving for all he's worth in his own style. Very, very strong fella to get by, he is.
But most form students will be very confused over that, because the last time they
10 lengths behind.
10 lengths, Swain, yeah, at Epsom.
Posidormus possibly.
One to go in, I think. That's El Marcy. No, another one. Law Commission. El Marcy going in. Law Commission will be the last to be locked away. That's it. Under orders, and they're away. Hello, Mr. Misted, and so too did Cry Havoc. And in the early stages, Kermate down near the inside, one of the first away. Brave Edges up there as well. Over on the far side, up the centre is Selhurst Park Flyer, and Tadeo over on the far side from De Muller and Periston View as they sort themselves out in the early stages. The jockey cam horse Bold Effort is in behind horses on the near side. Tadeo over on the far side, the leader from Periston View, and Selhurst Park Flyer up there blazing the trail in the centre. As Track on the near side is there from Kermate, and Brave Edges not that far away, followed by Bold Effort in behind them on the near side. They were followed then by Always a Light, Sheltering Sky in behind them. There's the jockey cam on Bold Effort at this stage, lying in behind Kermate in the blue jacket, as they're in three groups as they head up now towards the 2 furlong marker. And out in the centre it's Selhurst Park Flyer, who's just the leader as Track leads them on the near side. Kermate is there as well from Brave Edge. Here comes Sheltering Sky, Bold Effort on the stands rail. Over on the far side there is Superior Premium, Triple Hay, 111 and Chewett. They're stretched across the track. Selhurst Park Flyer on the near side is just the leader here. Selhurst Park Flyer, Chewett and Superior Premium on the far side. Dance the Night Away is flashing home. They come towards the line. Selhurst Park Flyer got there. From Dance the Night Away, Superior Premium third, Chewett fourth. Then Sheltering Sky followed further back in the field by Return of a Min. Then Kermate, and behind them Tadeo. The rest have finished in a pack. Apache Red a long way back. To Muller, I think, the last to finish. But here is Selhurst Park Flyer in the centre, just in front from Dance the Night Away. And it looks like, yes, he's put together back-to-back wins in this Wokingham handicap. Just getting there from Dance the Night Away. On the far side, it's Superior Premium, who looks like he's got up to take third, from Chewett fourth, and Sheltering Sky in fifth position. The judges giving the official placings now. The winner is Selhurst Park Flyer, owned by Chris and Antonia Deuters, trained by Jack Berry. What a festival he's having, what a Royal Ascot, and ridden by Carl Lowther. Second is number 16, Dance the Night Away. Third is number 10, Superior Premium, and fourth, number 23, Chewett. But Sheltering Sky in fifth position. But the official placings, and the winner is Selhurst Park Flyer, second year in a row. Let's see how he did it.
So the 5:28, got it in.
Well, it has been the most extraordinary season so far for Carl Lowther, and so it continues. His first ever Royal Ascot winner. He still works in the yard for Jack Berry. It's the first time he's ridden this horse at Ascot, because last year Paul Roberts won the race on him, but he's got a slipped disc. Carl Lowther taking over and doing exactly the same as last year, coming up the middle, and the horse hangs on. What a game-old star he is.
Dance the night away, finished very fast there. And he was just a little, the post came too soon, but this winner, you know, winning it 2 years back to back.
That is some achievement,
That is a big achievement for Jack Berry, a real big achievement. What a great little horse he is. And the second horse finished real fast, didn't he? And the draw doesn't seem to have made much difference, because it's 25 and 28. And that's how they were, first, second and third.
Very good point. The winner returned at 16-1.
The winner has scored officially by a head with 3/4 of a length between second and third, and the time was 1:15.57. 1:15.57. And very interesting to note that last year, when Selhurst Park Flyer won this race, he ran off a rating of 94. Today, £6 higher, off 100, and he's run right up to the good form he showed when winning at Epsom. The 59th winner of the season for Jack Berry, and the 26th of the season for Carl Lowther. Let's have a look now at the full SP on the Woking.
Yeah, wonderful performance under an £8 penalty for captain. The winner, number 4, Selhurst Park Flyer, returned at 16-1. Second, number 16, Dance the Night Away, 33-1. Third, number 10, Superior Premium, 40-1. And fourth, number 23, Chewett, 25-1. The non-runner there, number 30, Literary Society, and the favourite at 9-2, Sheltering Sky, 29 rand.
And in the end, Selhurst Park Flyer hitting the front a long way out, and he just had to be brave because he had nothing to race with in the middle there. And Willie, that's always difficult for a horse.
Well, he's such a genuine horse, this fella. He knows what to do. He knows Ascot, and he actually ran up the middle. And when we got to the 2 furlongs, there wasn't a horse anywhere near him, and he was about 1.5 lengths in front, 2 lengths in front, and he just nearly got come. Now look at this.
This was so exciting. We all started shouting here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Going through the gap, and we all
Get the inner there, Mace. Up the inside. There's a little gap there. To see the little gap appear, and then Mace goes for it.
Q Mace
and you
on
can
the right. Yeah.
See Mace's arms going, pushing the horse. Go on, get in there, go on. And he'd be clicking away at him. And look, I thought maybe he was going to win until we got the other view of him. And you see his stick. I don't know why he's doing his stick, because the horse has got blinkers on. He can't see that stick, but he might be giving him a tap behind the saddle. Go on, son, go on, go on. And you can see Selhurst Park Flyer way out there, about 6 lengths in front. And now I think Mace's horse is just getting tired. He's dropping back now.
Fantastic view though, and it really did show you there what it's like to go through that gap. There isn't an awful lot of room. You can see the yellow blinkers on the right. That was the horse that had the jockey camera on, with Michael Roberts riding in. Bold effort and a really wonderful view. But you can see there Selhurst Park Flyer winning there by what, just about a neck, I would say, wouldn't you?
He's won by a head.
He's won by about a head from Dance the Night Away, who's run a great race for Brian Meehan. And right over on the far side, the third horse coming in, Superior Premium.
Yeah,
Chewett's run on well as well. And also Sheltering Sky, the favourite, not beaten very far at all.
He's finished 5th, 6th.
Sheltering Sky has,
yes.
And our man with the cameras finished about 8th, which I think proves that it certainly doesn't hinder the jockey at all. But the horse that got it right and made all that early running up in the middle of the course was Selhurst Park Flyer. There is Carl Lowther weighing in, and he really has had a tremendous season. But let's talk to his boss, the man who got the horse ready for the occasion. In fact, we won't. We'll talk to the owner of Selhurst Park Flyer, Jonathan.
As far as I'm aware.
Yes, Chris Deuters, you're almost speechless down here.
I'm sorry, yes.
Reliving the success, second year running. It's a tremendous achievement.
Yeah, he's a wonderful horse. He's given us, you know, a tremendous time. He comes to himself at this time of the year. We always thought he needed a bend. And last year we thought we were happy because the visibility was bad, and when he passed the winning line he was still looking for it. But he's proved today, he's won it twice Ascot before, he's proved today that when he's on his form he can do it.
I mean, to win a race like the Woking and once is to win the lottery. To do it 2 years running is indecent.
Yeah, well, I did say to my wife this morning it'll be a bit greedy, but I can't explain it. You know, it's just wonderful. He's a lovely horse.
I mean, Posidonis, who won the Hardwick, is 6th. This old boy's 7, and he seems to be better than ever.
Well, we'll try and bring him back at 8. But yeah, I think sprinters do. As they get older, you know, they get stronger, and this is his time of year.
He was carrying a penalty as well, so he really was up against.
He had everything. A penalty against him, the draw, perhaps. I'm not so sure, but you know, no horse has won it twice in a year, I think, since the 30s, and it's wonderful.
Chris, what about you? You have a lot of horses with Jack. Your colours are very popular. How many do you have?
We have 23 in training, of which Jack has 21. He doesn't have the other two because they're jumpers, and they're with Venetia Williams. But you know, he trains the sprinters, and that was why we went to him in the first place. I love sprinters because they stay around a while, and I like horses that, you know, people can see. You can see on the course over many years.
It's a wonderful day for you. Very well done.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Many congratulations to the connections of Selhurst Park Flyer. That really is the most tremendous achievement to come here with an £8 penalty and win the Wokingham Handicap 2 years running. Well, the racing has been sensational so far, so has the fashion, but we can get a little bit of a combination of both now with Linda Berry.
Hi, now just have a look at this. This is the most marvellous picture, and it's been painted by, or sketched by, Katie O'Sullivan, who's with me now, one of our best young artists, especially with horses. This is marvellous. You have an exhibition on in London at the moment.
Yes.
You did. When did you do this?
Yesterday and the day before, quite quickly.
And do you do sketches? What medium is this in, for example?
In oil and pastel, which makes it rather sort of unfriendly because it doesn't dry very well.
But it
hence
looks
it's
marvellous.
sort of rather messy.
But why have you got this interest in racing and horses that you do?
Well, it's a great sort of medium. People are very supportive in racing. It's wonderful. People commission you. It's a great sport to work in. It's lovely.
Right. Well, let's just have another look at one of the others. While I ask you, you've also been doing things with gold leaf, and you put horses underneath gold leaf.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people paint horses beautifully, and I'd like to do something different that was more artistic, sort of bring a different view to the horse art world.
Well, listen, thank you very much for coming in. I think they're marvellous. I think they really are good, and it's nice to see somebody creating something here, as well as these wonderful horses and all the lovely colours as well. Thank you, Katie, and well done.
Thanks, Liz.
Stay with you. Oh, sorry. The fashion competition. I'm so sorry. I thought I was still doing art. Can I give that to you? That would be lovely. Now, we have obviously 3 dresses that we'd like you to have a little look at, and you decide what you're going to do. We have an A, a B, and a C, and what you want to do, that is A. That is the wonderful camel outfit we talked about earlier, and the telephone number you want to ring is 0891 555 303, and the calls are 50p a minute. That is marvellous. And this is our next outfit. This is B. Should you wish to vote for it, you go 0891 555 303. Lovely lace. Wonderful lace. You must ring this number and you decide what you want to do. So you say outfit A, outfit B, or outfit C. And this is B we're looking at now. So if you like that, ring the number and say outfit B. And now outfit C. So if you ring the telephone number, there you are, 0891 555 303. There we are, that's the competition.
And what the viewers have to do is match that A, B and C in the correct order to agree with Jeff and Linda, and ring in on that number 0891 555 303. The calls will cost you 50p per minute. So if you think the order should be ABC, then say so. But if you think it should be BAC, you say that. Or whichever the 3 in the order to agree with our judges. Well, back to racing now, and the most fashionable man at the racecourse right at this moment in time is Carl Lowther. He joins me now because he's just won the Wokingham on Selhurst Park Flyer. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much.
What a season you're having.
Yes, he's flying.
It is. Do you have to sort of pinch yourself and say, what's going on here?
Definitely.
Well, he's 24 years old. That's his 47th winner of the season. But not that long ago, you still claiming £7. You're an apprentice for Jack Berry.
Yeah, things just took off. Got an excellent agent, and she's got me a few good rides on telly, and they took off from there.
Well, that's the thing that makes the difference. And you're not from a racing background, are you?
No, not at all. My dad's a mechanic and my mum's a hairdresser. It just, you know, through my grandparents watching the horses at the weekend, that I really got into it at a very young age, and that's the only thing I've ever wanted to be.
Oh, well, fantastic. This must be one of the greatest moments of your life so far, hey?
Oh, yes, he's a star. He's so genuine. He does everything that you ask him to, and he's done it all alone up the middle on his own. I could see the horses on the far side. At one point, I thought they were ahead of us, and I just asked him to quicken up a little bit sooner than I wanted to. effort just to make that ground up, and he's done it all on his own. He's so genuine.
And your friend Paul Roberts rode him last year in the race, didn't he?
Well, Paul's done all the hard work on him at home, and unfortunately he's got a problem with his back, so thank you, Paul. It's a shame that, you know, he's missed this one, but he won it last year, and that's 2 for this horse.
And you might just get a double, Bolshoi in the next race, eh?
Well, he's in good form. Mr. Berry's horses are flying at the moment, so hopefully he'll run well.
OK, Carl, well, thank you very much and many congratulations. Bolshoi runs in the King's Stand Stakes. That's due off at 4:20, and you can see that over on BBC Two, where we'll be sharing coverage with the cricket at Lord's, the second test, England against South Africa. But Bolshoi, one of 19 runners in the race. It does look very competitive indeed. They'll be flying over the 5 furlongs. If you thought the Wokingham was quick, this is even quicker. So don't miss it. We'll be back at around about 4:15 on BBC Two. But from BBC One, for Royal Ascot this year, it's goodbye.
Time to work.
GPO trained girls, nicest tempered women in the country.
Time to play.
I hope you like it in Derby.
Heard it's a friendly place.
Famous for it.
I feel this is where I belong. Sitting in the back seat, hugging and kissing with Fred.
Living and loving it, Letitia Dean heads the cast in the return of The Hello Girls, Thursday at 8:30 on BBC One.
You're watching BBC One. Get ready to rock now with CBBC and Richard.
How you doing? What a day it is. It's so warm. The gel on my head has nearly started to melt, but not to worry.
Reps are stepping in and taking it. I've seen an 18,000 to 4, 9,000 to 2 a couple of times. Very serious office money for this one. St Marie's been shored up at 11 to 2 and 5 at times. Lock Angel's very easy, 7 out to 10. Carmine Lake's very easy, 10 out to 14. So really, there's only the two for serious money here, Jonathan.
Well done, thank you.
Let's have a look at number 14, Bolin Joanne. What a nice filly she is. Last season, she was very consistent. She won twice, and she placed in her other 5 races. She looked well in the paddock. She's had 1 run this season, and she topped up her first group win, in fact, when winning at York.
Yeah, from a marvellous family owned by the Westbrooks. Let's look at another one. Number 14 there, Bolin Joanne. Number 17, there we are, Lock Angel. Absolutely hacked up at Bath. And then a very good 3/4 length second to Bolshoi in the Temple Stakes at Sandown. Bags of speed, a great big strapping filly. 10 to 1 from 8 to 1. She is the mount of Frankie Dettori, and she's drawn number 2 of the 19 runners.
Number 4, Bishop's Court, the mount of Jimmy Fortune, trained by Linda Ramsden. Quite a consistent type of gelding in this, 4-year-old by Clan Time. In fact, he won the Vodafone Dash at Epsom on the Derby meeting, and he won it really well. Different track to run on here. He's got a climb. Number 4, Bishop's Court.
19, Land of Dreams. Won the Flying Childers at Doncaster last season. A decent 4th to Yorkie's Boy in the Palace House Stakes at Newmarket. Seems best on fast ground, usually held up and comes late. Trained by Mark Johnston, ridden by Darryl Hart.
Number 3, Averti, the mount of Jason Weaver, trained by Willie Musson. And Willie Muir, I should say. Averti, I thought, looked very well in the paddock. 7 years old now, and at 6 years old, he won the King George Stakes at Goodwood, which was a good effort. I wonder if he's kept that form this year.
Looking for number 5, Bolshoi. This is another Jack Berry flyer. Bolshoi won the Temple Stakes last time. Needs to be held up, come very late indeed. Ridden by Carl Lowther, who's just won the Wokingham. Going forward there, number 5, Bolshoi.
I'd like to see the French filly going in. Graham, more betting.
Yeah, 4's Bolin Joanne, 5 Santa Marine from 11 to 2, 9 Lock Angel from 10, 10 to 1 Bolshoi. Let's go and join Jim McGrath in the grandstand.
Thanks, Graham. That's Cathedral going forward. We've got 3 to go in. Cathedral on the near side. Our jockey cam is on horse number 6, Carmine Lake. John Reed wears the jockey cam, and he'll come from stall number 5. Favourite now 7 to 2. Last one going in. That's it. Ready for the King's Stand. under orders, jumped as one. On the near side, Cathedral, one of the first away with Lock Angel, and up there in the centre showing great early dash, San Marine. But it's Lord Kintyre and Lock Angel on the near side, just leading Carmine Lake, the jockey cam horse in the early stages. San Marine out in the centre, followed by Boll and Joanne, and behind them is Coastal Bluff, Cathedral, the stands rail. Then Ted Burrell, Paperius further back from Midnight Escape and Bishop's Court. In behind them is Tipsy Creek, followed further back in the field then as they sort themselves out by Land of Dreams, a long way out of it with Ladana as they come up towards the 2. On the near side though, as they come to the 2 furlong marker, Lock Angel blazing the trail from Lord Kintyre. In behind them Carmine Lake, out in the centre battling away Coastal Bluff with San Marine for France. Then Bolshoi finishing fast, followed by Midnight Escape. Inside the final 3 parts of a furlong, Lock Angel holding on from Cathedral. Then Bolshoi and Lord Kintyre. It's Lock Angel on the near side being grabbed by Bolshoi. Bolshoi wins the Kingsstand from Lock Angel. Third then Lord Kintyre, followed by Cathedral, then San Marine. Easy call behind the Bishop's Court. Further back in the field, Carmine Lake, and then Ladana. The rest have got very weary indeed as they cross the line. But let's check the placings. It's Bolshoi who's got there for Carl Lowther. A great double for him. It's number 5, Bolshoi the winner, from number 7. I should say, I beg your pardon, it's second, number 17, Lock Angel. Third then, number 18, Lord Kintyre. And fourth, number 7, Cathedral. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4 after the King's Stand.
Well, a big race double for Carl Lowther. He will never have had a day like this in his life before. Bolshoi always has to come from way off the pace, and you could see him there on the outside in the white colours. Lock Angel with Frankie Dettori, the sheepskin noseband on these rails closest to us, has made out most of the running, but for the second time in 2 races, Bolshoi's come and done her in the very final strides. Lock Angel's run a wonderful race, a half-sister to Lock Song, who won this in 1994. Lock Song used to go and blaze and make the running like this. Lock Angel's tried to do the same, but Jack Berry's run a Bolshoi and Carl Lowther. They've come late, they've come fast, and I'm afraid they've got her again.
Well, this Bolshoi, he's some horse. He's really improved this year. They've taken the blinkers off him, and he seems to come home a lot straighter than he used to, because before he used to hit the front and usually swerve. But now he seems to be running straight. As he's got older, he's got...
No mistake. That's Smullen, the Irish champion apprentice, having his first Irish Derby ride. Sadian blinking up. Greenwell still a steady favourite at 2s. Look at the way City Honours has drifted in betting. 9 to 4 out to 4s. Sadian, good money, into 4 to 1. Lining up in the Vincent O'Brien colours, Campo Catino. Already have greeted the judge today on burden of proof. Risk Material links up. The white flag is raised. Sunshine Street goes in. That's it. They're under orders and they're away. And away in the centre is Saratoga Springs, one of the first to get going. Up there too in the early stages is Sunshine Street, and Takarian is there on the outside. On settling down though, and the leader here is Risk Material from Takarian and also Sunshine Street. Just behind them is Saratoga Springs in the early stages. They're followed further back then on the inside by Campo Catino, and right there in the centre is City Honours. Back in the field on the left is Desert Fox, and back second last in the early stages is Make No Mistake. But it's Risk Material who takes them along down the back after 2 furlongs. Risk Material by a length to Sunshine Street in second. 1 length away third to Carrion, followed then on the outside in fourth by Sadian. Half a length into Saratoga Springs, followed back in the field then by Greenwell, the French Derby winner, travelling on the inside of City Honours. 1 length away then it's about third last is Campo Catino, followed then in second last place by Make No Mistake, and 2 lengths then to Desert Fox. Travelling over the side of the course now, they've got just on 7 furlongs to travel, and the leader here, Risk Material, by 2 lengths to Sunshine Street. Half a length away is Takarian in the green jacket the outside. 1 length further back is on the inside at this stage. We see Sadian going well. 1.5 lengths then to Saratoga Springs, who's back in centre field as they continue their journey over the far side. Greenwell is going well with a white cap in the centre. Further back in the field then at this stage is Make No Mistake, out wider than Campo Catino, and Desert Fox is at the tail of the field. Risk Material though the leader as they race down now past the 5 furlong marker. Leads by a length now to on the outside to Carrion. Just behind them, Sunshine Street has given way. Sadian is starting to loom up into third. Then City Honours, the royal blue jacket around the outside, followed then by Dreamwell, the white cap going well to centre. Sunshine Street behind them from Saratoga Springs. They round the home turn in the Budweiser Irish Derby. Risk Material kicks for home now for Seamus Heffernan. Goes 2 lengths in front of Takarian. Behind them is Sunshine Street, followed then by City Honours. Sadian's dropped away. Behind them Saratoga Springs and Dreamwell are running on well, followed by Desert Fox. Inside the 2 furlong marker now Takarian. Races up on the outside of Risk Material to join issue with Dreamwell in the centre. Desert Fox trying to follow him through, followed by City Honours. A furlong to go. Dreamwell now has raced into the lead. Dreamwell for Cassius Musin, 2 lengths in front. Going into second is Desert Fox, followed then by City Honours, but Dreamwell goes on to win the Irish Derby. City Honours is second, Desert Fox third, followed then by Campo Catino Takarian. Further back in the field is Risk Material from Saratoga Springs. They were followed then by Sunshine Street, who's second last. Sadian has finished last of all, and make no mistake, was third last across the line. The winner is number 4, Dreamwell, owned by the Niakos family.
Good support for the 3-year-olds, though. Duck Row into 7-1 from 9, and Central Park 14-1 from 25-1 this morning. But VC really taking on this favourite. Any more big bets going in, VC? No more. He's got it all. £16,000 once punters had on Daylami.
If he's ball at the right price, that's it. They're lined up, they're set. Kick away then for the Coral Eclipse, and he just takes a Duck Row back to Seb Sanders, also settled at the rear, although relatively slow pace is Faithful Son, and it's Central Park leading by half today, Lambie by length 2. Taipan, who's rushing through to share second, then on the inside Pachin, then Insatiable and Faithful Son and Duck Row. That's the order as they go to the first quarter mile, and Central Park bowling along in front, doing his job well. He's running on his merits, of course, but he's 4 clear. This Italian Derby winner, a Group 1 winner here. He's going there 4 clear of Taipan in second, a gap of 3 lengths back then to Pachin in third place, a length and a half back to Dailami, who's a good 6 lengths off the pace, then Insatiable and Faithful Son, and Duck Row sits at the back of the pack and pulled wide by Seb Sanders as they continue the motor down the far side, with Central Park leading clear by about 3 to 4 to Taipan Patadari in second place. In the green colours Pachin, the grey horse is Dailami, and still a long way off his stable companion Central Park, who leads as they turn out of the back straight. Duck Row is spinning wide on the turn. Insatiable and Faithful Son are still towards the back, but it's still Central Park that blazes the trail in the Coral Eclipse as they come to the top of the home run. Under half a mile to go, and it's Central Park under Darrow Donoghue. Clear by 4 to Taipan in second. The grey is Dailami. Here comes Duck Row on the outside in the straw jacket of the Duke of Devonshire. The Wheel of Fortune has taken 30 years to run with Park top, but Dailami is the one to beat now. The grey Dailami on the outside is Duck Row. Behind them the white cap Faithful Son. At the back is Insatiable. He's done enough. They come now to the final furlong, and it's Dailami who strikes and goes for home, but knocked behind, Frankie, because here comes Faithful Son. John Reed, the white cap, they're inside the final furlong now. The grey Dailami, the white cap Faithful Son is trying to close. They've gone 4 clear of Central Park up towards the line. It's going to be Dailami's day. He takes it to Faithful Son second. Central Park completes a memorable 1-2-3 for Saeed bin Saror, and the Godolphin Gallopers. Insatiable was 4th. Then we have Taipan and Pachin and Duck Row. I thought for a stage there the Park top coast was going to be laid, but that proved not to be the case. But this Coral Eclipse has gone to number 1, Dailami. The grey colt by Doyun, bred by the Aga Khan, now running for Godolphin, trained by Saeed bin Saror, and Frankie Dettori's triumphed in this Group 1 Coral Eclipse, one of the very few Group 1 races to, prior to this, have eluded the genial Frankie. On the right though, oh, look at that, the white cap John Reed, who's been the terror to Frankie in the past. Faithful Son, the white cap, play the 1-2 in this Coral Eclipse for Saeed bin Saror and Godolphin. Brave horses doing their best, coming home. Frankie looks round on the 6-4 favourite. He's got him cooked. But just 3 lengths behind and coming into the picture imminently with, there he goes, the black cap of Central Park, making it a 1-2-3. Only half a length.
This century, a good race for the younger horses taking on their elders. 4 3-year-olds have won in the 90s. Is then 7-1 bar the 2. Bold Facts coming from 8-1 into 7-1, and you can get 8-1 against Pas de Réponse. Good each way support for the French horse with a bit of class in what looks like a soft Group 1 race. Pas de Réponse is a class horse. It's then also you can get a bit of money I've seen for that Cahal, although it's out now to 10-1 Cahal. 1 2 people backing to Tory's horse for Said bin Sarur. Tamris, as I said, is well backed, and so is Arcadian Hero. Solid support for that. The grounds come right for the 7-1 chance, Arcadian Hero. Wide betting round here, not too many clues, with 3-1 the field, El Nadim.
Strimman 4, Darley 6, 8, come on,
I've come down to the 6th start. Interesting down here, the Bolin Joanne is sweating up. They're just going round behind the stalls. That's the only one really who's sweating up, and it's, although it's not a muggy day, it's a coolish day, that's the only one. The one they're attempting to load in first is Carmine Lake. This one has to go in first. Carmine Lake under John Reed's going into the 20, still goes straight in. The horse that'll be going in last will be Averti, and interesting, the vet came down here and had his stethoscope, because William Muir always likes his horses to have their heart checked at the start. He checked it, the horse was okay. Just had a quick chat with Richard Hills. I said, how did El Nadim feel as he came down? He said he felt good. He said the only problem is they always feel good coming down at the start. It's how they go back that makes the difference. They're now filing round behind the starting stalls, and remember the field reduced to 17, and with the favourite coming out towards the stand side, that is El Nadim, who'll be coming out of 18. We expect a lot of pace down the stand side, and that could lead early on. There's the well-back favourite, number 7, El Nadim, going round behind. Richard Hughes just winking to me on Lord Kintyre, one of the long shots. Here's Tim Sprake on Tamarisk. Just sweating up a little bit right next to me. Tim, how did he feel? All right? Yep, fine. He's going for his first Group 1 victory on that. Frankie's just about to go round behind with Cahal, and the last to go round will be Michael Kinnan, who rides Arcadian Hero. As they load up, let's check the eye catchers.
Well, Arcadian Hero got the nod ahead of the others, but it was a close call in several cases. On the course, El Nadim impressed. In the betting ring, he does likewise with Pas de Réponse, and it's negative for Bolin Joanne and Dane Tom.
Turn in with these 3 here.
It's such a good race, this, as we've said. You just need a little bit of luck in running. You can back a horse here, and you just need the breaks to happen at the right time for you. Gale and Frankie Dettori. It's an undulating course. It's dead straight. But you've got to have a horse that travels well, something that's well balanced, and in such a fast race, I'm sure you'll be looking for horses that have been capable of winning over, if not 7, certainly a very stiff 6.
We could get a track record. The track record stands to Cadeau Genera at just under 1 minute 10 seconds. And judging by what we've had this week, who will it be? El Nadim 3-1 favourite, 5's Tamarisk, 6-1 Bold Fact, 7's Arcadian Hero, 8-1 Pas de Réponse, 10-1 Bolin Joanne, Cahal and Bolshoi, and 14-1 or bigger the remainder. Well, I'll go for Arcadian Hero and Bold Fact. Stick to me guns. What about you, John?
Yeah, I fancy Russian Revival a little bit. I think he'll run well, dropping back in distance.
Jimbo, quick question for you. Lightning fast ground, who won't like the going? Who will be unsuited by the fast ground?
Well, I don't think there's any you can really put into that category. You can say that Bolshoi's best recent form is with more give.
Right, 1 to go. The last one's coming in.
1 to go, that's Averti. They'll be loaded on the starting blocks. Fired away over 1 minute 12 seconds to take this £80,000 Dali July Cup, and it's easy call with the red cap. Far side, Monasib showing up well. Arcadian Hero, Russian Revival, Averti the far side. Easy call down the centre. Pas de Réponse coming stand side. My Best Valentine, Dane Time just behind them, right on the stands rails. Here's El Nadim when they come through the first quarter mile, and 2 distinct camps here. Nearest to us is Easy Call and El Nadim taking it up from Bold Fact and Tamarisk, who's running fast. Manasib the far side, and also showing plenty of dash the far side. Arcadian Hero, Russian Revival, and they're halfway. Bolshoi's at the back, but he comes with a run. coming with a bit of a run is Dane Time, and so they come down towards a 2 furlong mark or a quarter of a mile to run in the Dali July Cup, and it's El Nadim, the favourite, in the lead. Stand Side Have It, 2 in second place, Carmine Lake, who picks up Tamarisk with a run. Compton Place won the race last year, might yet get place. Paraguay Pons the far side, Ali Fons, they're inside the final furlong, and it's Stand Side El Nadim who's plays from the start. He has a length to lead as they race up towards the line. Engrave the name Eldon on the cup. He's won it easily. It's a blanket for second. Tamarisk, Dane Time and Arcadian Hero. And then we have Paraguay Pons, and behind Paraguay Pons came Carmine Lake, Bolshoi Cahal, My Best Valentine, and then Easy Call, Bold Fact, Manasseh Baverti, Bolin Joanne, then Russian Reward, and behind that one was Compton Place. Law Kintyre whipped them in. And so the result of this Dali July Cup, the favourite has won it. A breathtaking, trailblazing performance by number 7 El Nadim. Hamdan Al Maktoum victorious yet again, clear at the line of a bunch for second and third and fourth. At the bottom of the picture in the light blue is Tamarisk, Tim Sprake. In the white cap in the middle of those three is Dane Time and Willie Ryan. The top, possibly and probably in fourth, is Arcadian Hero and Mick Kinnan. Yes, that is a very, very good horse indeed. The stable are firing on all cylinders. The sprinter has come back, and it's a terrific race in any manner of looking at it. But look towards the extreme left. The favourite, El Nadim, under Richard Hills, has taken place in the two camps. But we close in on a worthy favourite, a worthy winner, a Group 1 winner, a sprinter back in form. Yes.
Well, when he won at Ascot last September, everybody thought he was the best sprinter that we'd seen. He was a little bit disappointed at Sandown, but there is no doubt about the authority of this performance. Had a good draw against the far rails, probably just got headed at one point by Easy Call, Richard Quinn taking him over to the far side, but as they split down the two sides of the field, he was always in control. Just probably got his head back in front again. Compton Place, 3 off the rails in the yellow colours. Over on the far side, it's the 2 stable companions, Monasib and Russian Revival. And he just begins to draw away at this point. Tremendously fast run race this. Arcadian Hero comes from out of the pack, so does Dane Time. Michael Tabor will be pleased with the runs of those two. Tamarisk again, every chance, but this was a top-class sprint. There are no prisoners taken from the outset. And he's come home, you've got to say, a really convincing favourite and a real champion. There's no doubt about that.
Number 5.
Well, they're just not interested in winners. That was the case is long since gone. Champions are what they need, these owners. It's what they need at the stud, and this will be a really good horse when he goes off to stand at stud. They need champions, and that's...
Bar said Bar, and Frankie Dettori said the one thing about Bar is she does deserve to win a classic. She went so close at Epsom, but a lovely filly, that Gloriosia, and whatever she does today. Isn't she gorgeous? And Bar just walking around there. That's Napoleon's sister, trained by David Ellsworth. She'll do well to get in the places today. But the runners are loading up, as you can see, and we're going to join our colleagues at RTE. And the commentary will be brought to you by Tony O'Hare. Just playing up at the start there, actually, his annual visit with young Jamie Spencer on board. But let's cross over to RTE.
So, just 2 to go forward. Here's Tony O'Hare.
Annual visit just gone in, the complete outsider at 66 to 1. And there goes Winona, the Coronation Stakes third, under John Murta. Gloriosia, the next to be brought forward. White flag is up. And Gloriosia goes in nice and quietly, and the favourite Bar and Frankie Dettori. Last to be led up for the Kildangan Stud Irish Oaks. About to go into stall number 3. Bar, the 5 to 4 on favourite. 7 to 2 second favourite Gloriosia. Double figures the rest of them. Bar is in, and they're ready.
And they're away in the Irish Oaks with Bauer prancing out in front and joined on the inside by Glorosia. So the two market leaders, 1-2 at this stage. Glorosia, the second favourite, going on by a length to Bauer in second. Napoleon's Sister next on the outside in third, followed by Winona. Behind Winona, Musklime racing on the inside of Beldarian, then Kitsa towards the back with the two outsiders, Amravati and Annual Visit at the rear of the field as they come towards the 10 furlong marker now, and Glorosia striding along 2.5 clear of Bauer in second, a 4-length break then to Napoleon's Sister, followed by Winona in 4, well strung out as they complete 3 furlongs, and Glorosia the leader by 2.5 lengths to Bauer in second. Behind the favourite, a gap of 4 lengths to Napoleon's Sister. Winona is fourth, Beldarian is next, then comes Musklime, Kitsa towards the back, and the last two, Annual Visit and Amravati. About to run up the hill, passing the 7 furlong marker, and Glorosia, Walter Swinburne with a 3-length lead over Bauer in second. A gap then of 4 lengths to Napoleon's Sister, Richard Hughes in third. They're followed by Winona in 4. Behind Winona, her stable companion Beldarian. Then comes Musklime, Kitsa towards the back of the field with Amravati and Annual Visit as they race up towards the halfway point now, and Glorosia the leader. Glorosia by 2.5 lengths to Bauer, who's 3.5 clear of Napoleon's Sister. Winona is in fourth, Beldarian pushed along in fifth, then Musklime, Kitsa, Annual Visit and Amravati trails the field as they begin the descent towards the straight. With 4.5 furlongs to race, Glorosia the leader, Bauer in second. They're all closing up now. Napoleon's Sister making ground is Beldarian, Winona just on the inside. Annual Visit is getting into contention on the outer. Kitts has moved up behind these. Then Musklime and Amravati the back marker as they run towards the turn into the straight. Glorosia the leader from Bauer in the blue colours in second. Napoleon's Sister, striped cap, Richard Hughes. Winona the spots on the inside, but off the bend, and it's Glorosia the leader as they run down now with over 2 furlongs to race. Glorosia attacked by Bauer, Winona being produced on the outside, and in behind these in fourth place is Kitsa. They're inside the last 2 furlongs, and Bauer tackled by Winona on the near side, and Winona comes there to take it up under John Murta. Winona's gone to the front in the Irish Oaks and goes on a couple of lengths clear. Bauer in second, Kitts in third. They're clear of Glorosia, but racing up towards the line. Winona staying on well. There were big doubts about her stamina, but she's proved them wrong. She's going away to win it in tremendous style. Winona. Quite a good filly there who runs tomorrow here at Goodwood, South African filly. Lender Hand at 5-2. Coming in all the while, a very confident move for Lender Hand. Consistent support, 4-1 among men, and 11-2 Victory Note, 13-2 Bar. Now Tarascon and Portaforicos, the two that can give trouble. As Jimmy was saying, Portaforicos can have a few hairy moments, or give his connections a few hairy moments, but this filly can too. Tarascon, she got very excited unfortunately at Newmarket when she ran appallingly in the 1,000 guineas, and she takes the parade exceptionally well. She gets down there, she sees the stalls, and she doesn't want to know. She got in at Epsom okay. I thought Jamie Spencer rode an excellent race on her that day. She just didn't get the trip, and the handlers, some of them obviously would have been at Epsom that day, using brute strength, experience, and whatever else you've got to get her in. She's away. 1 to go. Portaforicos coming through on the inside. He's locked away, and they're ready for the Sussex Stakes. Under orders, and they're away. Centre stalls and Pachin began at the rear of the field. First to begin in the centre is Starborough, who goes on here from on the outside. Lender Hand is crossed over quite easily from among men, who settles third. They're followed in fourth position then by Portaforicos, who gets up into a handy spot in the early stages. Further back in the field then, out a little bit wider, Tarascon, and they're followed then by Pachin. Right there in the centre is Victory Note from Al Mushtarak, and centre stalls as last of all. They've gone the best part of 2.5 furlongs in the Sussex, and Starborough shows the way for Godolphin. A length to the favourite Lender Hand, 2 lengths to Among Men in the box seat on the inside of Porto Faricos as they run down past the 5. Tarascon trapped a little wide from Machir, and in there in the centre is Victory Note from El Mushtarak. Then further back Pachin, and 2 lengths last of all is Centre Stalls, racing towards the entrance to the home straight in the Sussex, and Starborough on the far rail is the leader. Lender Hand moving up now with Porto Faricos on the near side. Among Men going okay in behind them from Tarascon as they pass the 3. Victory Note nowhere to go from El Mushtarak. Muchir there followed by Pachin and Centre Stalls. Race on in earnest, and the favourite takes it up. Lender Hand goes to the front now from Starborough. Here's Among Men, Satellite on the outside. They're drawn 2 lengths to El Mushtarak. Porto Faricos has dropped away from Tarascon. Coming up with a furlong and a half to go. Lender Hand on the far side. Tackled now by Among Men on the near side. Among Men has now raced into the lead. Lender Hand hasn't found a great deal. El Mushtarak is running on for a place from Starborough, but with 100 yards left to go, it's Among Men who's going to land the Sussex Stakes for Mick Cannan. It's Among Men who wins it from El Mushtarak. 3rd Lender Hand, 4th Starborough. 5th is Centre Stalls from Pachin, then Tarascon Muchir. Porto Faricos second last, and Victory Note last to finish. The winner is number 2, Among Men, carrying the colours of Michael Tabor, and he races that in company with, in partnership with Mrs. Sue Magnia. Trained by Sir Michael Stout at Newmarket, ridden by Mick Cannan. Second, number 1, El Mushtarak, owned by Hamad El Mutawa, trained by Kamal Mahdi and ridden by Ray Cochran. Third, number 8, Lender Hand, owned by Maktoum El Maktoum, trained by Mark Johnson, ridden by Darrell Holland. Fourth is number 6, Starborough, Frankie Dettori. But the winner is Among Men, 4th in this race last year. This time has gone 3 places better and won it in quite glorious fashion.
And an absolute tribute to the skill of Sir Michael Stout with these older horses, because Among Men had been terribly disappointing on his first run in the Lockinge, but he'd had a setback in training. He then finished second in the Queen Anne to Intercarb at Royal Ascot, and he took him to win a very easy confidence-boosting race at Yarmouth. Before coming here, the horse is now sweet again. He's got plenty of talent, and here proving that at 4 years old, he's better than ever. Lender Hand's run a great race, but just hasn't managed to pick up again like he did in the Guineas. And running on from the back to take second is El Mushtarak, suited by the soft ground conditions today. But a fair pace set by Starborough early on, and a very fair result.
That's a very fair result, and what a race that Yarmouth, to give that horse so much confidence, because this is the best race that he's ever run in his life. In the last time, possibly when he was second in the Queen Anne, he came up across a very, very good horse in Tikab, and he possibly would be the best miler about. But this horse, he's improving, and maybe we'll give him a bit more to do. The second horse loves soft ground, likes to be covered up right to the last minute. Ray Cochran did his job well, he just wasn't good enough on the day. And Lender Hand, he had every chance, although possibly Starborough took the bite out of him by making him go, and you know, a bit too soon, because he didn't get his own way in the race.
I don't think there are any too bad hard luck stories, but Victory Notes dropped out very tamely. That'll be the ground, and they did warn us of that. And Tarascon, I thought, was going to run a big race. She looked full of running.
She didn't pick up on the ground. Obviously, she's a filly who likes top of the ground. She was always going well, but when Jamie grabbed over and said go, nothing happened. And the only horse that really picked up was the second horse. He came from quite a long way back, but wasn't quite good enough, and that's the way that he has to be ridden.
There was clever money on this winner, though. Michael Tabor is a big punter himself, and there'll be plenty of his friends and contacts that will have backed this horse. They knew he'd improved. They were backing him from last night and this morning, and I have to say, there are plenty of people that would have said, is he good enough? Well, he's proved today that he definitely is good enough. 4th last year, but he wins this year at 4-1 Among Men.
That's it, they're just about ready for the Vodafone Stewards Cup. They stand. That's it, under orders and away. J&P on the near side was one of the first away. Up there, Negracine and Ansel Man showing plenty of dash. Selhurst Park Flyer, as expected, is blazing the trail up the centre, and the Gay Fox, the one over on the far side. 3 groups here. Negracine and Ansel Man on the far side as we have a camera change. In the centre at Selhurst Park Flyer. The Gay Fox and Dance the Night Away on the near side from Quillen, and up there too is Sharp Hat from Rudy's Pet and also Triple Hay. Over on the far side, though, it's Ansel Man who leads that group in company with Silver Paradise, and also Negressine is there, followed by Superior Premium. Up the centre, Selhurst Park Fly here from Masha Ill. Further back is Bold Effort, followed then by Proud Native and also Nuclear Debate. At the far side in front, I reckon, Silver Paradise and Ansel Man together from Negressine, and Harmonic Way running on from Superior Premium, and further back Masha Ill's Literary Society. The near side there battling away, Night Shot. Ansel Man has it over on the far side though, just from Superior Premium, then Harmonic Way, Negressine. It's now Superior Premium who takes it up. Superior Premium wins the Stewards Cup. Ansel Man is second. In third, Eastern Purple. Fourth, then Negressine, followed then by Harmonic Way, and further back is Silver Paradise. Then Night Shot on the stand side, who ran so gallantly, but they had it on the far side all the way. 7 there. Number 7, Superior Premium. Robert Winston is the winner. Ansel Man, number 30, has got second. Got into the field due to a mistake by Weatherby's. He got in at the last moment after the original declarations. Third, number 4, Eastern Purple, ridden by Ray Cochrane. Fourth, number 3, Negressine, ridden by Jason Weaver. And just behind them, it's Night Shot, probably on the near side, in a photo there with Harmonic Way in the red cap. Then Masha Rill. Then Silver Paradise, Lama Rita behind them, Literary Society, Always a Light, Proud Native, Nuclear Debate, there he is on the near side with a nose band. Number 11, Nuclear Debate. Number 2 is Fire Dome. Then 5 behind them, Gaelic Storm, not sighted the plunge horse. Then Quillen, J&P on the far side, Triple Hay is next. They were followed then by 28, which is Distinctive Dream. Then Selhurst Park Flyer, Rudy's Pet, no extras, Dance the Night Away in the centre. And a long gap then to Sharp Hat. Still looking for Surveyor, haven't seen him at all. Then Kilcullen Lad, the Gay Fox who led them early on the stand side. Number 18 is next. There's Surveyor, number 12, not sighted at all on the voyage. Then Double Action behind them. This enormous field of 29 have finished. There's Bold Effort in the yellow blinkers. They've finished well spread out. And the ones on the far side, high numbers. It is once again, he started from stall number 28, Superior Premium. Number 7, Superior Premium, owned by J.C. Parsons, trained by Richard Fahey and ridden by Robert Winston. Second is number 30, Ansel Man, owned by Ansels of Watford, trained by Jack Berry, ridden by Gary Carter. Third, number 4, Eastern Purple, owned by T.C. Chang, trained by Richard Fahey. A 1 and 3 for the trainer, Ray Cochrane the rider. And fourth, number 3, Negressine, owned by Sunpack Potatoes, trained by Les Air and ridden by Jason Weaver. 1, 2, 3, 4, all from the north. Let's have a look now at the replay.
Well, what a race and what a finish. You can see here the runners spread right across the course, but as we were trying to explain to you before, the high numbers had it. The first 4 have come out of stall 29, 28, 25 and 23. The high draw really made a difference here. Superior Premium making the very best of it.
Yes, and it's a great day for this young jockey, and he'll be really, guys, you can see going past the post, he's really enjoying himself. Ansel Man, who made the running on the far side there, he came right out the stalls, got onto the rail, made the running, and only got past in the last sort of half furlong. Ran another great race. But as you could see from that shot earlier, that the far side have got a big advantage because of that strip of new ground that was opened up on Friday. So there he goes, he's singling there. Haven't I done well?
Robert Winston is called, and that will be a big moment for him, because to pull off a victory in a major handicap like this.
Still claiming
7 from he'd drop his hands on the horse's withers and he'd jump off really happily and quite relaxed, whereas somebody else might just grip a little bit tighter with his knees. The horse would then just be that little bit more anxious to get going, and it sort of just accentuates any problem that might already be there. There we go, just filling in a few divots. I mean, some courses don't do this the day after, never mind in between races. Tremendous to see this, and the grass plenty short enough here. They do keep it short, but plenty of cover there.
In fairness to the team here as well,
John, they've had extremes this year. They had very, very wet for the June meeting, 2-day June meeting. The ground be ripped to shreds, and then it was very fast baking conditions for the Magnet Cup meeting. So 1 month later, you're looking for as near a perfect surface as you can get. And this day and age, you can't afford to put too much rain on with watering as well. This horse, has, relatively speaking, has behaved very well, John.
Yeah, much better this afternoon. He's actually third in the Acomb last year, and then ran well in the Prince of Wales behind Faithful Son. Apparently he's improved tremendously at home, and he's obviously a horse with plenty of ability. He's got himself quite warm beforehand. Had a nice confidence booster at Newbury in the Stevenson Stakes. Absolutely hacked all over Lebec and Poseidon. One So Wonderful's had 7 races, only been defeated once. That was first time up this year, where she obviously wasn't right, ran a bit soft at Goodwood, but a convincing winner of the Sun Chariot Stakes last year. Looks well enough in herself.
9-4 against that Faithful Son, and no horse has ever won the Prince of Wales at Royal Ascot and come on and won the Judd Monteith, starting with Brigadier Gerard in 72. He won at Royal Ascot and failed here. It's then 3-1 an easy Chester House, and now 6-1 bar the 2. That's One So Wonderful, Limpid and Exclusive. Very easy to back these horses. Bookmakers trying to get money, they can't really lay them. It's then 16-1 Al Mushtarak and 20 Polar Prince, and the bottom one, Kitzer. Once again, the market, no guide here. I have never ever known, as I said, a weaker betting market for the Judd Mont.
Limpid is just a shade reluctant, but the blind has worked wonders. And from the blind to the all-seeing, here's Gigi.
Chester House has dispensation to go in last. Good to see a farm runner making this a truly international occasion with Aidan O'Brien, of course. Kitson lined up. Here we go. Kick away. So where does the early pace come from? And nobody is that keen to go on through the first half furlong. It's Frankie on Faithful Son that is determined to go on now. Determined to go on. Faithful Son. One So Wonderful sits second, tracking the outside. Exclusive runs third. Polar Prince is on the outside of Limpid, sitting 4 and 5 that pair, while Chester House is wide on the course. The pink cap worn by Kieran Fallon showing up behind that. Al Mushtarak follows, and then Kitzer is the one that wags the tail as they come down through the first quarter mile. With Faithful Son under Frankie Dettori, the man who's monopolised this race in the past. Exclusive, Cash Asmussen called in for the ride, sits second, sharing second with One So Wonderful, black and white spots next to the rails. Polar Prince of the black sleeves is position 4, white sleeves, Limpid is in 5, and they've gone through the first quarter mile in good pace, and they come down past the 6 with Faithful Son leading, to Exclusive in second, to One So Wonderful showing in third, then One So Wonderful in 4 and Polar Prince is 5. They're probably just a tad on the slow side, so watch for a finisher on the outside. Here comes Chester House, Limpid yet to play his hand. Al Mushtarak and Kitzer still sits at the back. So they come down the home run, jockeying for position. Kieran Fallon's trying to quicken the tempo with Chester House the outside. Exclusive is going with it, with Faithful Son the inner, and One So Wonderful. Kitzer starts to pick up. Al Mushtarak covered up. Limpid just being ridden along, just hemmed in a little bit. Faithful Son yet to be passed. Here comes Chester House. One So Wonderful next to the rails, a quarter of a mile to go. Pink cap Chester House, blue cap Faithful Son, red colours Exclusive, white cap the rail. That's One So Wonderful. Limpid in behind. Kitzer for Aidan O'Brien the outside is coming with a strong run. They race inside the final furlong. It's Chester House. Faithful Son rallying. One So Wonderful next to the rail. It's a wave of 3 as they drive to the line. And at the line, a photo to the outcome of the Judd Mont International. Is it Faithful Son? Is it One So Wonderful? Is it Chester House? Limpid's back in 4. Then Kitzer, and behind these came Exclusive. Behind Exclusive, the outsiders, Al Mushtarak. And behind Al Mushtarak was Polar Prince, and it's on the nod. That is a close call. The judge calls a photo. The blue colours. In the centre is Faithful Son, nosing it with next to the rails One So Wonderful, and in the pink cap stand side Chester House. It's a wave of 3 to this Group 1 thriller.
What a fantastic finish. The crowd on their feet. A finish of inches and 3 really brave horses. Far side One So Wonderful. In the centre, Faithful Son. And this side, Chester House. The whips are flying. The jockeys' heads are down. The horses' heads are down. The post is there. Who's got it? We don't know.
Well, a lovely horse this. He reminds me of Halling in many ways. He's so graceful the way that he moves. And a really brave effort if he's got back up, because he probably went 3 parts of a length down at one point. One So Wonderful with a run of the rails, and Chester House on this side. I didn't think we'd get a better race this afternoon than we had between Persian Punch and Soleric in the last race, but God, this one's better.
Frankie looks confident, but the judge is going to take some time to look at this photo. We'll be straight back.
Arcadian Hero, 7's Lock Angel, 9 Saint Marine, Bolin Joanne and Bolshoi are 14-1 shots, and they get plenty bigger after that. Bishop's Court at 25s with Speedy James, 33s Averti and My Best Valentine, 40s Almaty and Easy Call, and then 50-1 Dashing Blue, Rambling Bear and Yorkie's Boy. Perugino Bay joins them on that price.
Right, easy call, big price there. And let's have a look at the eye catchers now, because it was Arcadian Hero who got it for us. Most of these look well, to be fair. Alnadim and Lock Angel, pluses for those with Graham, and Saint Marine and Lock Angel down in the betting ring. And 2 of the pluses on one side were also 2 of the negatives in the betting ring.
So what'll happen? Well, everybody looks at it in their own way, but ignoring draw, ignoring horses in form. If you use the official ratings, this is a rough interpretation of how it should look. El Nadim should be Arcadian Hero, 1 1/4 lengths, with Land of Dreams next, 1 1/4 lengths behind. Bolin Joanne chasing them up, followed by Bolshoi, and Saint Marine will be in the picture too.
And the tic-tacs are sending 9-4. El Nadim easy to back. Land of Dreams out to 4-1. Very weak Arcadian Hero 6-1. Bookmakers feel there's going to be a result here. They brought Lock Song in. It was 12-1 this morning. 7-1 Lock Song. The French horse Saint Marine in France won it 12 years ago. It's 9-1. Lock Angel a 7-1 chance. Lock Angel, and it's now 13-2 against Lock Angel with 9-1 against Saint Marine. Speedy James, the 2-year-old, is in from 40-1 to 20-1. The 2-year-old. Speedy James. The feeling down here is that the front 3 are all going to get beaten.
Ready to go.
So El Nadim out to 9-4. Land of Dreams at 4-1. Lock Angel down to 13-2.
Yeah, all right.
Pace should come from the low numbers in the draw, with Lock Angel and Saint Marie and Yorkie's Boy all trailblazers. And Arcadian Hero, 13-2 from 6s, comes from stall 15. The last 2 loading here, Averti will be the very last to load. That explosion of speed almost sends Bolshoi and Karl Lowther into orbit. They're last early on. On the far side, Saint Marine is blazing the trail. That leaves Land of Dreams, Lock Angel the far side, Yorkie's Boy. Down the stand side, we've got Speedy James in black and white. El Nadim is tanking there. Arcadian Hero, Dashing Blue, being brought forward is Almaty. And they're through the first quarter mile now and past the halfway stage. And the French runner, Saint Marine, he was drawn 4, coming centre to stand side and has got lengths to spare out of pace performers. Lock Angel sits second with Arcadian Hero in orange. El Nadim ridden along, Dashing Blue. Bishop's Court's coming there. Land of Dreams isn't out of it. They're tying up. The leader is now, but still just has it Saint Marine. Here comes Lock Angel with the noseband on the left between these 2. So very few have got into it as they race up towards the line. It's Lock Angel into the lead. Lock Angel, Saint Marine, Dashing Blue, and at the line it's going to be Lock Angel who lifts the Nunthorpe to Saint Marine in second, and a blanket for third. Leave that for the judge. The field trail back to Speedy James. And so what a week this has been for Jeff Smith, owner Jeff Smith. He had Persian Punch the Stair on the first day. He had a big handicap winner yesterday in Night Shot, and now Lock Angel, little darling, Mr. Little Night Shift, homebred, has come under Frankie Dettori, the top man of the meeting, to come and take the Group 1 for Simmons Holmes Nunthorpe. Second horse home, that is number 15, Saint Marine, who absolutely went like a rocket from the stalls. Third horse home is number 5, Dashing Blues. So Ian Balding, Ian Balding the first and third here, and the fourth horse home is number 3, Bishop's Court, Jimmy Fortune, just nudging out of our picture. But a great week this for Frankie Dettori. Lock Angel landed another Group 1. And as ever, Frankie is delighted.
Well, there's no doubt that was a brilliant sprinting performance on very quick conditions. We've unofficially got it at 56.18, so she just failed, on our reckoning anyway, to beat Dejour's brilliant 56.16 here in 91. But this filly is improving all the time. That was her best effort to date. She beat another very good filly in Saint Marine. What a brave race that filly ran. And Frankie Dettori, well, he must pinch himself, be so lucky to ride 2 fillies from the same family. Locksong, the elder half-sister, was the darling of punters for seasons, and there's no reason why this filly can't be just the same in the years to come, Jim.
Yeah, and what a 3-day meeting for Jeff Smith, who won with Persian Punch, and Carl Lowther and Bolshoi gave him a bit of a toss-up in the air there. But really, for a lot of horses, they just didn't get into this race because the French filly, Saint Marine, she went on over on the far side, put 2 or 3 legs between them. Frankie and this eventual winner, Lock Angel, were always just going well enough to track them. And surprisingly enough, Arcadian Hero fairly well up with the pace. I didn't think he'd have the legs to go with these early on. In the end, he got a little bit tired. El Nadim already come in there under pressure, but at this point, 2 furlongs to run. God, they went quick over those first 3 furlongs. Dominic Buff just getting down in the drive position, and even when you look behind, there's just so many horses totally out of the race at this point, and it's Lock Angel who gets her head down, points her toe, and just finds that little bit extra in reserve to go past this French filly. Stable Companion runs on to take 3rd spot, and I think the eventual 4th there was Bishop's Court, who's run an absolute blinder, but a real race of speed. But watch Frankie Dettori's action all day, just really so smooth, rhythmical, and well, pleasure to watch him.
Not saying it's because he went to Hong Kong, but he just seems to have lost his way since then. He's
won.
a horse that just likes to gallop.
Yeah, he does. He won the St James's Palace last year doing exactly that, and finished 2nd here in the Sussex Stakes last year, but only 4th this year, as you say, just losing his way a little bit. Darrow Donoghue, though, might just suit this horse.
Well, he might suit, yes, well, of course, he suits a lot of horses, that boy. But you would think there's a lot of horses here today that are free galloping horses, so you'll have plenty of pace.
Well, let's take a check on the market. Mutatir is still our favourite at 11-4. Lover's Knot 7-2, 9-2. Decorated Hero, though, is a bit of money for him. Starborough 6-1, having touched 7s, and 7-1. Al Mushtarak, it's 12-1 bar those. Al Mushtarak there in your picture, just going into the stalls. We saw him in the parade. Another one with a bit of a belly on him. Likes to be held up. I think he'll finish in the first 3 today, will he, Al Mushtarak?
Yes, he possibly is. Lover's Knot, who's going in there. That is a filly of Sir Michael Stout's, going to run a big race today. Looked very well in the paddock. Unfortunately, last time in the Prix du Artiste at Deauville run bad.
Didn't like the soft ground that day, so Lover's Knot from Willie is the tip. I think Al Mushtarak will run a big race. Jim, what do you think?
Well, I think Mutatir, I think justifiably favourite, 2nd in a classic, French 2,000 guineas, and I think going the right way, Claire. Last one in, just about ready. That's it, under orders, and they're racing. Teapot Row on the left, a fraction slow into stride. First to begin, Starborough in the blue jacket. Docksider up there too in the early stages. Mutatir began brilliantly and is up sharing the early lead. They're not going as fast as I thought they might. Up there too is Muchir, and then Teapot Row making up ground on the inside rail. Now got a dream run up there. But Starborough held together with Mutatir in the lead. There's no one really anxious to go on and make it a cracking pace. 1.5 lengths to Muchir in 3rd from Docksider, and then Teapot Row. A A length away then Al Mushtarak back in the field in company with Decorated Hero. At this stage we've got Soviet Bureau second last and Lovers Not last of all. Making that first corner, the leader Mutatir on the inside, having to make it all here. Half a length in front of Starborough. A length away then Teapot Road. Docksider up on the outside and a lather of sweat. Half a length away Muchir from Decorated Hero as they round the corner, straightening up for home. Al Mushtarak behind them. Lovers Not with 5 or 6 lengths to make up, and Soviet Bureau is last. Past the 3 now in this Triple Prince Celebration Mile. Mutatir the favourite in front now. He's going to start the sprint for home pretty soon. Now being shaken up, a length and a half in front. Teapot Row getting up on the inside rail. Then Starborough, who can't go on. Lovers Not now launched down the outside with Decorated Hero. Races on in earnest, just over a furlong to go. Mutatir a length and a half in front. Lovers Not and Decorated Hero trying hard to pick him up, and Al Mushtarak right down the outside. But Mutatir is now starting to pick up, and he's starting to sprint clear. The favourite Mutatir, 2 or 3 in front. He's a good type. Mutatir goes on to win the Celebration Mile. Second Al Mushtarak, third Lovers Not, followed then by Decorated Hero, fourth, then Soviet Bureau, from Muchir, Starborough, then Teapot Row, and Docksider a long last. The winner is number 7, Mutatir, owned by Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained by John Gosden and ridden by Richard Hills. A treble for Richard this afternoon. Big day for him and for Hamdan Al Maktoum. Second is Al Mushtarak there on the outside, about a half length or so in front of Lovers Not, who tried to come from last. Then in fourth, Decorated Hero, the old warrior. He's run a pretty even race. In fifth place is Soviet Bureau. In sixth, Muchir. Then in seventh, Starborough was sharing the early lead, didn't want to go on. And then in eighth is Teapot Row. But and a long last is Docksider, just getting into the picture. Ooh, where is he? We're still looking for him. He was a long last, take it from me. The winner is number 7, Mutatir. That completes a treble for Richard Hills this afternoon, taking him on to the 62 winner mark for the season. And a great performance out in front by Mutatir, who had to sprint for home and did go on and score very, very well. Second is number 2, Al Mushtarak, ridden by Ray Cochrane. Third, number 6, Lovers Not, John Reed. And fourth, number 3, Decorated Hero, Gary Hind. The 11-4 favourite, Mutatir, the winner of the Triple Print Celebration Mile.
Well, that brings up a 51-1 treble for Richard Hills. It's also a double for John Gosden, who won our previous race with Masha Ill. And between the 3 of us, we did manage to give you the first 3. Jim was the one who came up with Mutatir. He has made all the running. Starborough took him on early on, but that didn't really seem to bother him. And the 3-year-olds, as we said earlier, have such a good record in this race. They've proved it once again. And Mutatir, a very worthy winner, never got into any trouble at all. The same cannot be said of the second horse, Al Mushtarak. Ray Cochrane was absolutely full of running, about 2 furlongs from home. A wall of horses in front of him. Had to wait and wait and wait for the gap, and the horses finished really, really well to take second place. And Lovers Not, Willie, you said she'd run a big race. At this stage, I thought she'd be second, but she'd no disgrace in third.
Yeah, she ran a good race, but the winner is a class horse. Beaten in the Classic by a head. He is obviously a very high-class colt. And it was interesting to see that when they jumped out the stalls, Darren Donahue and Richard Hills, they were looking at one another and said, you can go if you want to, I'm not going to go too fast. And they made sure that they didn't go too fast. And you had everybody else all piling up behind them. And they kept looking at one another and saying, I'm not going to go if you don't. And anyway, Richard Hills, he's rode 3 winners today, riding a terrific treble. He's rode very well today.
By this stage, the second horse, Al Mushtarak, white colours, green and red cap on the right of your picture. He's got the room to go now, but it was about 2.5, I guess, 3 furlongs from home. He was absolutely cruising.
But he is a horse who does like to have darkness. He doesn't like to see. If he sees too much daylight, he'll give in. He likes to come very light, and this horse possibly is one for the Queen Elizabeth when the ground possibly comes up very, very soft, because this soft, but most of these sort of brilliant type horses prefer faster ground, and this ground today, Mr. Arkwright, the clerk of the course here, he's produced real good ground for these sprinters to race on. Sure,
I just said he was at 4th, of course, still in the July Cup. He comes from a stable in cracking form and is ridden by Michael Cannan, who's already had a win this afternoon. Number 7, Arcadian Hero.
But here we have Tamarisk, who is another horse who prefers the faster side of ground. He looked like being a very good horse when he won at Lingfield early in the year, and he's a very nice type of horse. He ran second last time, and you know, he's very, very genuine, like all these horses that run in this race.
Yeah, I think he'd have to. He was second to Elnadim in the July Cup. When he won at Lingfield, Arcadian Hero was second, 2.5 lengths behind. Now 10 pounds better off. So I think he'd stay strictly at the weights. I'd just prefer Arcadian Hero today.
They're very tight. They're very close. All these horses. They're very close indeed.
That's why they're betting 4 to 1 the field. I mean, you know, it's
good
as I say, one of the most competitive
point,
Group 1 sprints we've had in a long time. Now here's a horse that did want the overnight rain, Andreev.
Yes.
And
yes.
he won the Prix de Montreal at Deauville last Sunday, but I'm afraid the rain hasn't come for him.
No, unfortunately, but he's still a very good horse. But you would have said this horse's chance would have been if we'd had that half an inch of rain last night. But unfortunately, we didn't get it. So he's there to do his best, of course, and they'll be hoping for a big run from him.
Loading up, continuing.
Richard Quinn there in the stalls there, just getting a hold of his horse's ear. This horse went down last. No, not this horse.
Yorkie's Boy there in the white
Boy.
cap.
He's just getting a hold of his ear just to keep him quiet, because these sprinters do get excited in the stalls.
And there we are. There is number 5, Superior Premium, winner of the Stewards Cup. But let's go and join our commentator, Jim McGrath.
Thanks, Graham. Yes, interesting Lock Angel lining up there in 13 on the near side. Frankie Dettori. 4 to 1 joint favourites, Elna Dim and Lock Angel. 11 to 2 Arcadian Hero. 13 to 2 Bar. As Arcadian Hero goes forward, Elna Dim's over on the far side in 1. Let's see how they go. They're on opposite sides of the track, the 2 joint favourites. Arcadian Hero, Mick Cannan just eased into position. That leaves only Superior Premium to come forward into stall 12, and then they'll be set. Over on the far side, Cretan Gift in 2. That's it. The Stewards Cup winners in. Superior Premium. 4 to 1 outright favourite Elna Dim under orders and away, and the leader in the centre is Tamarisk on settling down, crossing over to the near side. Arcadian Hero up there as well. Land of Dreams in behind them. Yorkie's Boy showing pace, and Elna Dim over on the far side. Just steadied a little bit in the early stages, but now goes up to force the issue with Tamarisk and Eastern Purple on the near side. In behind them, Lock Angel in 4th, followed then by Yorkie's Boy and Arcadian Hero. It's in Superior Premium being passed there on the near side. Well back in the field, Daunting Lady, followed as they come up to the 3 by Tomba, who's well back. But the leader, Tamarisk, in the centre from Lock Angel, going well in behind from Eastern Purple. Elna Dim is dropping away. They're followed by Arcadian Hero. They come up with 2 furlongs left to travel. Tamarisk on the near side from Lock Angel. They're followed then by Arcadian Hero, Elna Dim and Land of Dreams. Tamarisk, though, is the leader. Tamarisk coming up with a furlong left to go in front from Lock Angel, who's now under the whip. Further back then, Land of Dreams from Andreev is battling on quite well, but coming up with half a furlong to go. Tamarisk has run them into the ground, about 4 or 5 lengths in front and careering away. Tamarisk goes on to win the Stanley Leisure Sprint Cup by 3 lengths. Second then is Bolshoi, came from nowhere. Tomba was 3rd, then Andrea 4th, followed by Superior Premium. Further back, Daunting Lady. Lock Angel tired badly. They were followed by Eastern Purple, Land of Dreams, Arcadian Hero, then Yorkie's Boy. Elna Dim has finished last, second last, Cretan Gift. The winner, number 9, Tamarisk, owned by Highclere Thoroughbred Racing, trained by Roger Charlton, ridden by Tim Sprake, has finally put up that Group 1 winning performance that his connections have been seeking for a long time. Always highly rated, but he needed that win on the board, and this has established him as a potential stallion. That's number 9, Tamarisk, ridden by Tim Sprake, has gone on to score. Second, number 2, Bolshoi, owned by Mrs. David Brown, trained by Jack Berry, ridden by Kieran Fallon. Third, number 6, Tomba, owned by J.R. Good, trained by Brian Meehan, ridden by Michael Tevitt. And fourth, number 1, Andreev, owned by J. Palmer Brown, trained by Richard Hannon, ridden by Richard Hughes. Superior Premium was 5th, and Lock Angel was 6th. But look at Tamarisk striding away. Needed top of the ground today. Well, it was good. It wasn't really the type of ground that they could bounce off, but it was good enough for Tamarisk to get the money today. And the distances were 1 3/4 lengths and half a length.
And here we have Tamarisk. He's absolutely gone out there, got a hold of this race by the scruff of the neck, and he's won the money. And Tim Sprague, he gave this horse a great ride. He jumped out of the stalls and went all the way. And this horse, nobody could actually get near him. Lock Angel didn't stay, and there you have the horse there of Jack Berry's Bolshoi coming there late, as he always does, run a very good race again. And Tomba, who possibly likes a little bit soft ground to beat all these top horses, ran a very good race in third. But we must remember this horse. He jumped out the stalls. Timmy Sprague gave him a fantastic ride. He's by Green Desert, and he's getting a great reception there. And I would say, Graham, that was a very, very good performance.
I mean, he's absolutely, you take the race by the scruff of the neck from the start and won decisively. A real top-class sprinter when the ground is on top.
Well, he'd had some good performances to his credit, Tamarisk. He'd run second to Tsar in last year's Dewhurst, beaten 7 lengths, but had also run second in the July Cup. He needed a Group 1 win. That was his 5th win from 8 starts today. And if you look at his pedigree, very interesting, goes right back to some very, very good bloodlines, including the family of Triptych. And this win has ensured that this horse is very, very valuable indeed. Let's check the SPs. The winner, number 9, Tamarisk, ridden by Tim Sprague at 13-2. Second, number 2, Bolshoi, Kieran Fallon at 10-1. And third, number 6, Tomba, ridden by Michael Tevitt at 13-2. All 13 ran in the Stanley Leisure Sprint Cup.
And for us, that completes another very good day's racing at Haydock Park. There'll be more to come with the renewal of BBC's new 5-year contract with the Haydock Park circuit. But that's our racing for this afternoon. The cricket, well, still no play possible and no prospect of play in the NatWest Trophy final between Lancashire and Derbyshire. They're maintaining a watching brief over on BBC 2. Here on 1, we're going to concentrate on the athletics from Moscow.
Awkward going in. It remains to be seen whether he'll give his running. If he does, he's certainly got a great chance. It may not go down as a vintage, but it's certainly a competitive renewal. The 222nd St Ledger, named after Colonel Anthony St Ledger, who lived at Park Hill down the road. All that history. And the latest renewal will take just over 3 minutes. Here's Graham.
Coming in. Last to load. Eco-friendly. Lined up. And they race away then for the Potemkin and Ledger. And where does the early pace come from? It's High and Low that goes on, determined to make a good stretch of this stand. And now with the rail, the inside of Dark Moon Dancer, and then Sunshine Street with Tarlim up on the outside. Ardley Charmer, the rank outsider, is towards the back, and so too at this stage is Sadie and Eco-Friendly at a level pace through the first quarter mile. And they're being towed along by High and Low, one of the 3 Barry Hill runners in the race, and this filly just has the edge under Jimmy Fortune. Nadawi sits second. On the outside is Sunshine Street, these 1, 2 and 3. And then behind that we have Ardley Charmer, the Glowworm runs the rail behind Dark Moon Dancer. Sadian towards the back, and Eco-Friendly, another one of the Barry Hills trio in this race, is the back marker. So they swing left-handed and shortly to rise over Rose Hill with High and Low the leader, to Sunshine Street the outside of Nadawi, the stripe cap of Tarlim, the quarter colours running the rail Dark Moon Dancer, the Glowworm on the outside, and John Reed just had to check there. On the outer is Ardley Charmer out wide, Sadian follows, and then I say the Glowworm in the yellow colours Eco-Friendly. So they come through the first 3/4 of a mile and towards the halfway stage in the Potemkin Ledger, with High and Low leading to up on the outside Sunshine Street and Nadawi sitting the rail. Then behind these we've got Tarlim racing in a share of 4 with Dark Moon Dancer, Ardley Charmer the outside, followed by Sadian. Then the Glowworm, and then Eco-Friendly. One of the neglected horses in the race is the back marker. But it's High and Low who leads, but Nadawi, the 5-2 favourite, sits second. Sadian is in the maroon colours, sharing a last at this stage. The Glowworm in a midfield position. They've got under 3/4 of a mile to go, starting the turn in. And Jimmy Fortune just kicks and tries to find a little bit more pace. To Sunshine Street, the red and grey stripes in second place, the Irish runner sitting in third, Nadawi. Then on the outside we've got Tarlim. Then behind these, Sadian tries to make a stride or two behind the Glowworm.
Dark Moon Dancer, Ardley Charm with the rank outside and now last. Eco-Friendly is being ridden along, the Glowworm ridden along, and they come down past the 4, still High and Low has it. Bold bit of front running, Tarlin the outside, then Sunshine Street, Nadawi runs the rail, Sadie under pressure, Dark Moon Dancer in green and red with the white sleeves with a run now. But as they come down to the 2 furlong marker, what a positive front running ride by Jimmy Fortune on High and Low. The stripe cap of Tarlium, he's a winner over the distance. Nadawi the favourite in the Boys for Blues in third, gets a switch there and a run, but they come down towards the final furlong. And High and Low, here comes Nadawi for the Saror team in second place. Back in third, Sunshine Street for Ireland, and then Tarlium was a race inside the final furlong, and Nadawi weaves across the course. High and Low still has it. Nadawi puts in a power finish to lift it in the last 50 yards. Nadawi wins. High and Low second. Back in third, Sunshine Street, then Sadian, then Tarlium, and behind that one came Dark Moon Dancer, and the field trail back to Ardley Charmer, who was last of all. And so Nadawi has won this for Godolphin, and what an amazing tale this Godolphin story is. Another classic success for Nadawi, considered the second string by so many. They could have run Sea Wave, they could have run so many, they elected to ride Nadawi. John Reed has won this classic. John Reed on his 8th ride is the 4th St Ledger in 5 years for Sheikh Mohammed, and Nadawi has won this. And as I say, John Reed, who was placed before on Sadler's Hall, but this is his first victory in the final classic of the year, the Potemsa Ledger. But what a most dramatic swerve inside the final furlong, and a brave front-running roll by High and Low in the pink cap there, worn by Jimmy Fortune. But it was Nadami, the Progressive Rainbow Quest, who was just too good.
Well, second classic of the season for the Godolphin boys. He's not a very big horse, he's lightly made, but he's got so much athleticism, and he's also a little bit of a character. Very lucky that he didn't get rid of John Reed. It never looked as though he was going to, but he's changed direction quite quickly with about 100 yards to run.
Mustarak will be the one to be discarded, but as we've seen, he's attracted a lot of money, 33 to 1 into 16 to 1. And Cape Cross we're looking at there, we saw him back in May at Newbury make all the running to win the Lockinge Stakes, and I think the 1 or 2 might be up there a bit early. And that's number 6 in the background there, is Mutathir. He won the Celebration Mile at Goodwood last time. Previously the Hungerford Stakes came through to beat Danish Rhapsody. He's progressive sort, improving with every run, and he did finish ahead of Desert Prince when they were 2nd and 3rd to Victory Note in the French 2,000 guineas. Let's catch up with the very latest betting with Angus.
Well, it's very competitive here now. 7-2 each of 3. Desert Prince, Among Men and Dr. Fong, all 3 being significantly back. The strongest in the racecourse ring is Among Men, who was 5-1 on the opening show. It's 5-1 bar the 3.
Number 1, Al Mushtarak, the outsider of the 7. He was 2nd of 9 to Mutathir in the Celebration Mile, and then 6th of 8 to Desert Prince in the Prix du Moulin. He's normally ridden by Ray Cochrane. Darrell Holland takes over today. Opened 33 to 1 this horse, and now 16 to 1. Second Empire there, carrying the second colours. Second best 2-year-old in Europe last season behind Tsar. And he put a really good performance to win the Ridgewood Pearl Desmond Stakes at the Curragh last month by 3 lengths from centre stalls. But he did disappoint rather when 3rd to Desert Prince in the Prix du Moulin at Longchamp next time. But that was soft ground, and it's not that bad today. Just getting a little bit warm there, as you can see on his neck.
Well, there's Second Empire. He was walking around in the pre-parade ring, and he was the only horse that didn't have a sheet on. So they knew that this horse was going to get very hot. And he is another horse that is very strong in the early places. So possibly that Johnny Murtagh will be having a little bit of trouble holding this fella.
Desert Prince clear favourite, 100-30. Let's join Jim McGrath.
Under orders and they're away. What's going to lead them in the Queen Elizabeth II? On settling down now on the outside, Mutatir is right up there vying for the early lead. Just dropping in behind them, Cape Cross. No one really anxious to go on at all. Pulling a bit is Among Men on the outside. In fourth is Desert Prince from Dr. Fong, nicely settled in fifth. Well back in the field is Second Empire in company with Al Mustarak. Continuing up the side of the course, and he's taking a tug on the leader. It's Mutatir the leader, reluctantly by half a length Among Men. A length away then in third is Cape Cross, in behind them from Desert Prince, who's got into a lovely position, fourth poised on the outside. Then Dr. Fong, and further back in the field is Al Mustarak as they pass the 5, and last of all is Second Empire. Continuing the climb up towards the half mile, Mutatir out in front, dictating by half a length to Among Men on the outside. 1 length away then is Cape Cross, half a length away then is Desert Prince the outside. Dr. Fong being ridden along now, followed by Al Mustarak, and Second Empire is 7 lengths off the pace. Rounding the turn in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, Mutatir the first to turn for home from on the outside Among Men. In behind them is Cape Cross, followed by Desert Prince, who's beautifully poised and starting to move up now. Dr. Fong in behind them from Al Mustarak. It's Mutatir on the far side, being tackled now by Among Men inside the 2. But look at Desert Prince, he's had a perfect run, and now launched by Olivier Pellier on the outside. Desert Prince takes it up. Dr. Fong is trying hard to wear him down, followed further back by Cape Cross, but Desert Prince is clear. 100 yards left to go. Desert Prince is going to go on and win the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. Second, Dr. Fong are fighting second too. Second Empire made up ground for third, followed by Cape Cross in fourth. Further back then Among Men from Al Mustarak, and Mutatir last to finish. Well, the winner is number 4, Desert Prince, owned by the Kind Stud, trained by David Loader, ridden by Olivier Pellier, just getting there ahead of number 5, Dr. Fong, ridden by Kieran Fallon second. Third then on the far side, it's tight, but third I think you'll find Second Empire ahead of number 3, Cape Cross. Then in fifth position is Among Men, 6th Al Mustarak, and a long gap then to the reluctant early leader, Mutatir. Well, the winner is Desert Prince, who certainly sealed the issue as far as the champion miler of Europe goes. He's already the winner of the Irish 2,000 guineas, the Prix de Moulin, and now the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. Second is Dr. Fong, 100-30 the winner, and third is Second Empire. Dr. Fong is trained by Henry Cecil, ridden by Kieran Fallon. Third, Second Empire, owned by Michael Tabor and Mrs. John Magnier, trained by Aidan O'Brien and ridden by John Murtagh. Fourth was Cape Cross. But the 100-30 winner, the favourite, Desert Prince. Let's see how he did it.
Well, the early running was made by Mutatir, but as Jim said in commentary, somewhat reluctantly, and he did not go as fast as some might have expected, but Willie Carson did tell you this might happen. Olivier Pellier was in the perfect position, as he had been when he won this race last year, and he's ridden the most brilliant race here on Desert Prince. You've got to feel slightly sorry for Dr. Fong. The pace didn't suit him. Another half a furlong, you'd think he might have caught the winner. And a good run in third there from Second Empire, who stayed on from the back. Frankie was going very well about 2 furlongs from home on Cape Cross, but in the end, these 2 horses up front, they reversed the placings of the St James's Palace.
St James's Palace is ahead between them. There's 3/4 of length between them today. The pace was the all-important thing. Richard Hills did not go. He went his own pace. It wasn't quick enough for Dr. Fong. Dr. Fong, who gets 1.25 miles nearly, 1.1 miles definitely. The pace was just against him. He's coming there at the finish. He's run a brave race under the circumstances, but the winner is Desert Prince.
And he was returned the 100-30 favourite. Second was Dr. Fong at 7-2, and third, Second Empire. Real good run from him at 7-1. Now, Willie, let's just have a look at it from this angle, because Olivier Pellier made his run. Funny enough, Kieran was pushing from before they turned into the straight.
That's when the pace, when Richard Hills injected the place 4 furlongs from home, Dr. Fong was in a little bit of trouble. He takes time. He hasn't got instant speed, but he just gallops. Where this horse here, this Desert Prince horse, he's got a good turn of foot, and Olivier Pellier had his horse in the right position at the right time. It was a very good ride by him.
Well, they've run an exceptionally fast time here once again in this race. 1:39.6.
Quickest, but who will end up in front? Lock Angel just going through there into stall 13. Let's hope she can bounce back to form as well. Will it be the British? Will it be the French? We'll find out. Jim McGrath's up in the stand. Jim, it's all yours.
Thanks, Claire. Only a couple to go forward now. Easy Call going in. And also Afan. Significant that there's been so much money for Bianconi, who's in real terms 2.4 to 1. It's a dividend of 3 francs 40. And very, very significant support indeed for this Aidan O'Brien trained sprinter. Going forward now is Afan, trained by Richard Marvin at Southall. Averti coming forward for William Muir, one of the 6 British trained runners. St. Marine still to go forward, the favourite into stall 1. The William Muir trained Averti, being ridden by John Reed. On the extreme right is Zelding in 14. On the left, going into 1, stall 1, which is up against that inside rail, with the favourite in that favourite coupling, St. Marine. She goes forward now, St. Marine, and the 14 runners are set for the Abbey. Racing. Peperi began well on the right of picture. Lock Angel also quickly into stride, but also right up there early is St. Marine with Afan, and also Lady Alexander. Bianconi right up on the pace as well. Fourth from Easy Call. Lock Angel's crossed over quite well from out wide. Further back is Land of Dreams, and then Zelding back in centre field from Averti. They're followed next in the field by Chargé d'Affaires. But a great battle up front. St. Marine and Afan stride for stride from Lady Alexander as they come up to halfway. Further back in the field, Easy Call from Lock Angel on the far side as they race up now with a furlong and a half left to go. St. Marine is just the leader. St. Marine about 2 lengths in front and now starting to streak clear. St. Marine is going to go on and score here, I reckon, about 2 lengths in front. Here they come, the challengers. My Best Valentine has come from nowhere, absolutely swamping them. My Best Valentine down the outside. What a shock, a great British victory. My Best Valentine goes on to win the Abbey. Averti is second, St. Marine is third. It's very tight behind them. Zelding is there as well, in company with Desert Drama, the 3 Collet runners together. Further back then was Lock Angel, Peperi, and Chargé d'Affaires. Afan has finished near last, but a major upset here. Number 7, My Best Valentine, a great British winner for Vic Sohn, and Ray Cochrane came from nowhere. It looked as if St. Marine was going to hold on with about 3 parts of a furlong to go, but was swamped in the last few strides. Averti gets up for second. St. Marine is in third. Now tight fourth. Looks like Zelding might have just got it ahead of Easy Call. Then Lock Song in the centre, followed then by Desert Drama, Peperi, Chargé d'Affaires, Land of Dreams, then Bright Finish, Bianconi well back, and one of the last was Afan. But the winner, number 7, My Best Valentine, owned by the Valentines, trained by Vic Sohn and ridden by Ray Cochrane, and started at any old odds you like. Second, number 1, Averti, trained by William Muir, ridden by John Reed. Third, number 13, St. Marine, owned by R.C. Strauss, trained by Robert Collet and ridden by Dominic Berth. And it looked like Zelding was fourth. But you've got the 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at the closing stages with Claire and Willie.
Well, St. Marine set out to make the running, but she was taken on early on by Afan, and I thought at this stage Dominic Berth had enough left in the tank that she would find a bit more, but all the time, My Best Valentine on the left with the yellow cap, who'd thread his way through from the back. Ray Cochrane comes to make his move, wins decisively in the end. You see that celebration. This horse hasn't won a race for a year now, and he comes and does it in a Group 1, the Abbey, here at Longchamp. 8 years old, what a star he's been, and this really, Willie, the best day of his life.
Oh, the best day of Vic Sohn's life, no doubt, up to now. This horse, by Try My Best, is 8 years of age, you know, as you said, and as you can see there,
he's coming from a mile back.
Absolutely out of the clouds. Obviously, St. Marine has gone a very, very fast pace, and it was taken on, and Dominic Berth went for it from halfway, and he hasn't quite got home. He should have saved a little bit more, maybe.
She really only stays 4.5
yes, well, it's what it's looking like. This happened at York as well, but you can see the yellow cap coming, powering down the outside there, and has got this race well and truly won. Ears flat back, trying with you know, really putting everything into this gallop. Ray Cochrane, he doesn't ride many Group 1 winners, but he's been riding this horse for the last 3 years. So he'll be a very, very happy boy indeed. And it's great for...
Averti ran a great race in second place. He stayed on through the field, came through the pack like the winner did. And they had gone a blazing pace early on, and the first and the second both coming from a fair way back. As we wait here in the paddock for the winner to appear, I think there will be joyous scenes in the winner's enclosure. And Sue Barker has got some very, very happy connections with her. They're all being crowded around now as the winner comes in. My Best Valentine, a superb success for them. And full congratulations to Vic Sohn for getting an old horse like this here to Longchamp and doing it in such style. Ray Cochrane, who doesn't often celebrate with any great sort of mass enthusiasm like a Frankie Dettori, he looks so happy, he really does.
And the owner has actually got tears running down her face. It's marvellous for the little stable to come out and win such a big race. I think this is his second year as a trainer, or is it maybe his third year as a trainer, Vic's. And he's had this horse all the time, and unfortunately, as you said, he hasn't won a race all this year, and picks today to do it. Amazing. What a day!
That's the 9th win of his life, and that really is by far and away the best. What a lovely, lovely head he's got. And I think he's enjoying it, the horse is enjoying it just as much as the owners, and Ray Cochrane looking wonderfully, wonderfully pleased with the way things have worked out for him. It's been worth the trip over for him. He hasn't got a ride in the Arc, but it was worth it to come over.
I can see that. You can see that because he won't leave the horse, will he? He wants to keep patting it.
And My Best Valentine continuing the wonderful record of British runners who've come over here for the Abbey. It is extraordinary to think that our sprinters seem to be so much more superior.
It's incredible
to
how
sprinters.
we keep winning this race. And there's a smile in Ray Cochrane going up the steps and over the bridge into the weighing room.
Well, Sue Barker now has the winning trainer, Vic Sohn, with her.
Vic, congratulations, what a win.
There are days and days, and this is the day of my life today. I mean, we started with a winner at Newmarket on Friday, and we said it could be a great weekend, but we were hoping third or fourth would be fantastic, but he's pissed up, that's basically.
Tell us about the race, because what a finish.
Well, I must admit, when I heard them mention My Best Valentine, I started running, and I didn't see the finish, but I gather he's won quite easily in the end. But he has to come from late. We've been praying for rain all year. Every time we've run in a 5 furlong race, it's been fast ground. They've taken us off our feet. Today it was perfect. Plenty of speed, and we've come there and killed them.
And tell us a bit about this wonderful old horse.
Well, I broke him in as a yearling at Peter Harris's, and then he went to the sales, and the owners bought him back, and they've stuck with him, and they've paid, you know, they bought him back for 35,000, which was a lot of money for them to get together, and he's repaid them handsomely. You know, he's been group placed 4 times, and now he's won his Group 1, which is unbelievable. And hopefully he goes to stud at the end of the season. You know, he'll enjoy that.
But this is a day you'll remember, won't you?
Never forget, never forget. And I'd like to thank everyone at home, because this has been a big effort. My wife's at home, she's not very well, and all the staff at home, they have worked very hard for a very small stable to come and do this. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, Vic, I think we can excuse your language, and you enjoy your day. Well done. Let's take a check on the full result.
And just confirmed the winner was number 7, My Best Valentine. Second was number 1, Averti, a great run from him again. And third, the little speedster who tried to make all the running, number 13, Saint Marine. All 14 ran in the Abbey. A last minute each way, long shot. It could possibly be Caetano. Dreamwell there, just beginning to sweat up a bit with his blinkers on. Kenny Abbey. A last minute each way, long shot. It could possibly be Caetano. Dreamwell there, just beginning to sweat up a bit with his blinkers on. Can he recapture the form that saw him win the French and Irish Derby? Cash Asmussen certainly believes in him. They're just going forward now. Saga Mix is going into the stalls, and you can see Tiger Hill waiting there. Most of the runners are installed. And Pat there on Posidonis, a very experienced.
He's going for his 5th Arc win, Pat Edry.
Well, I tell you, that'll be a bit of a triumph if he can do it on Posidonis. He's a pretty tough individual. He could run into a place, but I can't see him winning it.
Well, he's been trained for this race. He wasn't quite fit at Newbury when he ran last time. He will definitely improve. And he's 32 to 1, that fella, if you fancy him.
Well, as Zainter goes forward, let's cross over to Jim McGrath. He's up in the stands looking down on all of this. Jim, if I say I think High Rise has to finish in the first 3, and Willie thinks the same thing, is there one horse you think will definitely be placed?
Well, I'd say, Claire, that High Rise has got an excellent chance of being placed. He's an Epsom Derby winner, and he has to be there. And I think this horse has got a chance too. Sagamix, ridden there by Olivier Pallier. 2 to go in, Zainter, and also Limpid. There's Frankie Dettori on Sea Wave. These will be anxious moments for Frankie in the stalls. The horse veered very sharply left last time in the Prix Niel and dumped him on the turf. He's got horses all around him though here, which should make it in theory a much easier task, but that's just the theory. So they're lining up. They have a smaller field this year than normal, 14, and that'll make it easier as far as interference goes. The size of the field has been cut down greatly in recent seasons, but there were some very, very big fields in the past. Limpid, the Grand Prix de Paris winner, to go forward. That's La Guerra on the left of picture in the blue sleeves and cap, winner of the Prix Vermeil, and one of 6 British stables represented. John Dunlop, the trainer. That's Cash Asmussen there on Dreamwell, one of the best big race riders in the world today. Limpid, being ridden by Thierry Janet. He's been successful in this race before, Thierry Janet, on 2 occasions. And Limpid, who's wearing Sheikh Mohammed's colours, is being backed by the stalls handlers into position. Let's see if the ploy works. No, it's not working at all at the moment. Lashing out very sharply behind. Thierry Janet still very cool. Looking for a 5th arc win. Limpid is locked away. Pat really wants to get on with the job. He's looking over there. I wonder what he is saying, Pat. That's it. I think Limpid's locked away. They're ready for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Stand by for a start. Ready and racing. Zainter a little bit slow into stride, and the German runner Caetano was cut out at the start. On settling down though, and down near the inside, Posidonus and La Guerra, 2 of the first away. Happy Valentine, who's the expected pacemaker, is driving up on the outside. Then in 4th placing is Fragrant Mix, followed by Tiger Hill. Further back is High Rise at this stage from Limpid on the outside of Sea Wave, who got away with the others today. Courteous is further back in the field. They're followed in the centre there by Sagamix and Croco Rouge. 1 length away then Caetano. A length then to Dreamwell, the Irish and French Derby winner, who's 2nd last, and the French Oaks winner Zainter brings up the rear as they head over now behind the Petit Bois, and they've got less than a mile to travel, and the leader here on the inside is Happy Valentine by 3 lengths to in 2nd place Posidonus. In 3rd then on the outside Limpid from La Guerra. The German runner then in the centre, Tiger Hill is next, followed then by Sea Wave on the outside of Fragrant Mix. 1 length away is High Rise, who's tucked away on the inside there. Sagamix is back in centre field. You can see that pink cap on the outside being tracked by Croco Rouge. The yellow jacket of High Rise is not that far away. Further back in the field then is Courteous in the dark green jacket as they make that turn. About 6 furlongs to travel. Well back is Caetano and company with Dreamwell, and Zainter is last of all. But Happy Valentine has slipped the field now as they race now towards the entrance to the false straight. Happy Valentine's opened up a gap here of about 15 lengths on Posidonus. Limpid is in 3rd place, followed then by La Guerra. Further back in the field is Sea Wave from Tiger Hill, then Fragrant Mix, Sagamix. A couple away, Croco Rouge, followed then by High Rise, who's a mile off the pace. Courteous is next, followed by Caetano, and back towards the rear with about half a mile left to travel as Zainter in company with Dreamwell. Well, will Happy Valentine come back to the field? He's starting to do so now, 2.5 furlongs out in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Happy Valentine, the pacemaker, turns for home, about 4 or 5 in front of Posidonus. Then La Guerra the far side. Limpid is next, followed by Tiger Hill. Out wider then is Sea Wave. High Rise threading his way through. Fragrant Mix and Sagamix right down the outside. Halfway up the home straight of the arc, and Sea Wave raises La Guerra, who raises up now to grab a narrow lead. The German runner Tiger Hill coming through. Sagamix down the outside. Happy Valentine still there. It's now La Guerra who's still the leader. La Guerra running erratically. Tiger Hill and Sagamix flashing home down the outside. Sagamix wins the arc. La Guerra 2nd. Tiger Hill is 3rd. They're followed by Croco Rouge in 4th. Then Dreamwell, followed further back by Fragrant Mix, Caetano, High Rise, Sea Wave, then Courteous. Further back is Zainter. Happy Valentine got very weary. Then Limpid and Posidonus as last to finish. The winner of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe for 1998 is number 8 Sagamix, coming down the outside with a beautifully timed run and gives jockey Olivier Pallier, the French champion, a hat-trick of victories in this most prestigious of races. Second, number 14, La Guerra, ridden by Richard Quinn, has run the gamest of races, the Prix Vermeil winner, Love the Ground. And third, number 12, Tiger Hill, ridden by Andreas Saborix. In fourth place is Croco Rouge, Sylvain Gio. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. In fifth place is Caetano. But there we see the great rivals, Frankie Dettori on the right, Olivier Pallier on the left. Frankie congratulating Olivier on this great hat-trick of victories. Alicio, Pantra Celeb, and this year Sagamix down the outside. He came into the race unbeaten. Sagamix, all his runs had been over 1.5 miles on soft ground. He won the Prix Niel, and today, although he hadn't been tested in the absolute supreme company that the Derby winners High Rise and Dreamwell had been, he was a horse with a lot of promise. Here's that's Tiger Hill, the yellow cap on the far side, La Guerra there in the centre, the blue sleeves and cap, Richard Quinn pumping away, and there's the winner. There he is on the outside, Sagamix, getting up the score here. And look at the delighted Olivier Pallier. And there he is again. Well, he's the master of Longchamp. Pallier, he's come with a perfect run down the outside.
Well, as they turned in here, Happy Valentine had set a scorching pace, and you can see Pat Eddery on Posidonus thinking, uh-oh, we better not let him slip us. Everybody behind starts rowing away. Sagamix right on the right-hand side with the pink cap. Olivier Pallier has an uninterrupted run. The same cannot be said of High Rise in the yellow colours. You see him get into real trouble here with Mick Kinnan. He tries to go between Limpid and Sea Wave, can't get through, tries to switch to the outside, and by that time, it's all too late. Meanwhile, Olivier Pallier is making ground all the time. La Guerra's hit the front. She has run a fabulous race, fully justified her supplementary fee of £40,000. Tiger Hill's run a great race for Germany, but Olivier Pallier has made history, the first French jockey to ride 3 arcs in a row. He emulates Pat Eddery, and when a man's on fire, you just can't stop the fire burning, Willie.
Well, it was a great ride there. You can see him on the outside in the pink cap. He always had this horse in a position that he could always challenge, and in the bigger day, the Group 1 races, you always got to be careful that you've got a run to go for. And Olivier Pallier, he is a very, very good jockey. He rode a very intelligent race, and
he was never in trouble. You can see Croco Rouge trying to follow him through behind, and Caetano, the other German runner, has also run a great race. The Germans came here with high hopes. They've been fully justified. Their 2 horses have both run extremely well. Dreamwell, I think, behind has run on through the field, but Croco Rouge proving the better of the Pascal Barry pair. But Andre Fabre, what a trainer, his 5th arc. You've got to give credit to the man. Yeah, we'll give credit to John Dunlop as well on the second there with this filly, who he supplemented just a few days ago, and she's run a cracking race. She had the race won at the quarter of furlong from home, but just couldn't hang on to this unbeaten colt. And of course, the third horse, you know, ran a very good race. Tiger Hill did. Just have a look here now. We've got the opportunity at High Rise in the yellow colours, because it looked there like there was room to get between, but
he couldn't go there. You know, look, he's taken a pull. Oh, I can't go. I want to get through there, but it's not big enough. I'll have to look for somewhere else. Now he's thinking, I'll have to go behind Frankie Dettori and go around the back of Frankie Dettori on Sea Wave. And you would have to think that he was a little bit unlucky. I'm not going to say he should have won the race, but he possibly could have been placed.
Well, meanwhile, up front, La Guerra has been answering every call, and there's Tiger Hill, a big, strong, powerful horse. I think Richard Quinn at this stage must have thought he put his stick
and Grand Lodge Colt, who's done so well for Pit Payne, a group winner in his own right, and yet 33-1. That just underlines the quality of field we have here.
And finally, Stravinsky, the smallest colt in the field. He was a little bit reluctant wandering around the Paris Parade ring. It'll be interesting just to see what he does when he comes back, and whether running across the field slightly in France was just greediness or whether cussedness.
I know John just has his doubts from his demeanour, and the eye-catcher went positively to Enrique, who stood out in a good-looking field. On the course auction house, negative Indian Danehill. In the betting ring, the front two have attracted real money. This is as good a betting heat as we've had for a long time here.
An international head-to-head then for the Saudi Arabian Airlines Dewhurst Stakes. Where does the early pace come from? They're all sitting behind Auction House from the 6th stall. Keen to Lead gets to that rail and goes on by a couple of lengths. The striped colours Razor Grand the outside of, on the inside, Enrique, and then the striped cap of Mujahid. Tucked away at this stage, we have both Stravinsky and Lujane and Indian Danehill. Negative going down to the start. He just took off for a quarter of a mile, but they've taken off through the first quarter mile here, and they're being taken there by Auction House. Just turns the screw a little to, in second place, Razor Grand the outside. Then behind these, we've got to Enrique, the white cap. Kieran Fallon, champion jockey, in the perfect position. Mick Kinnan was drawn one, but he's had to pull wide of Mujahid, who's already going to work. And also coming with a run there is Lujane. They come down past the 3 furlong marker. They're leaving Indian Danehill behind, but he won't be able to give it running. They come down to the 2, and as the international head-to-head gets to be a real battler with a furlong and a half to go, white cap Indian Enrique with up on the outside. Razor Grand now has found room on Stravinsky. Auction House runs the rail, and Mujahid, the striped cap, unleashing a run. It's a wave of 5, a championship race. True, Enrique is beaten, but it's Mujahid into the lead. Mujahid is going to spring a surprise at the line. Mujahid beats the pair. Mujahid is our winner. In second place, Auction House, Stravinsky third, Enrique only 4. Then Razor Grand, and a big gap to Lujane. And last of all was Indian Danehill. Well, what an upset here, in the betting at least. But viewers to the morning line were advised of the confidence behind number 5, Mujahid, the winner of the Saudi Arabian Airlines Dewhurst Stakes. Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained at Arundel by John Dunlop and ridden superbly by Richard Hills, has taken the race. Razor Grand's jockey Gary Carter gives a high five to Richard Hills and Mujahid. An amazing outcome. Stravinsky was drawn one. He's had to pull very wide. The French horse lost his race going down to the start for me. Razor Grand was bang there. What a disappointment Enrique was, running a bit flat, the white cap. Lujane didn't stay, but a brilliant performance by Mujahid.
Well, this horse has cut them down in the last furlong. First time that he's run over this distance. Certainly his first run since he was disappointing up at York. In the closing stages, he's just come across a little bit. Maybe he's just interfered with Enrique. Certainly hasn't affected the result, although Richard Hills might just find himself on holiday for a couple of days. Over on the far rails, Auction House has run a tremendous race, took them along at a good, sensible gallop right from the outset. And on this side, Stravinsky, who had plenty of ground to make up, but just not good enough. This horse is lengthened up. 7 furlongs has obviously been what he's waiting for. Tremendous tip this morning from Simon Crisford, and well done to him. And let's hope most of the viewers were on.
And there is a steward's inquiry, and that's been announced by the punters, I would think, in desperation. Mujahid returned 25 to 1. You remember on the morning line, Simon Crisford tipped it up at 40 to 1. Ladbrokes were knocked over around £250,000 in 4 or 5 minutes to lose. That's £5,000 or £6,000 invested. It did touch double carpet, 33 to 1 on the course, returned 25 to 1. And the only longer price winners ever of the Dewhurst were 50 to 1 Generous 8 years ago, and Scenic in 1988, who dead heated with Prince of Dance, was returned double carpet, 33 to 1. There have been other 20 to 1 winners, the third longest price winner ever of the Dewhurst, in one of the biggest gambles ever known in a Dewhurst. On the first 2 favourites, that's Stravinsky, sent off 13 to 8 favourite, and Enrique also 13 to 8 favourite. 20 to 1 Auction House, wins by 2 lengths and a neck. A colossal result for the bookmakers. We'll be trying to find any winning punters. Do they exist? Never!
But there's still an anxious moment or two, as John's called it through once from the side-on angle, and I'm pretty sure he's right. There's no real problems. Let's look at it head-on now. Enrique briefly led. Razor Grande ran a fine race, and there's not a lot of room when Richard Hills goes. It opens quickly for him, though. He's through it in a trice, and it's the old story in the dip at Newmarket. Horses begin to wander, and he's crossed Kieran there. I'm not even sure that Richard's actually guilty of careless riding, because it happened so quickly. It's what the stewards will be looking at, and up the hill he's gone away from them. It may be an upset, but he's a deserving winner, all right. Alborada and Chester House, the last two to go in. The Champion Stakes first run in 1877. The late betting show, 11 to 10 Dale Army, 5 to 1 or bigger the remainder. Here's Graham.
Take it away then for this Group 1 race. 8 of them are Group winners. Expect the pace to come from the left with the white cap. That's Happy Valentine, Darrow Donoghue. He's got the pace now. Interestingly, they wanted to keep it away from the rail. The only one left on the rail is One So Wonderful, Insatiable, I should say, with right on the stands rail, Olivier Pellier. Not wise to the game at this stage, but it's Happy Valentine who leads. Alborada sits second. It looks slow early on. Sasuru, the red cap, as they go through the first quarter mile in this Dubai Champion Stakes. And at this stage, we've got the grey, Dale Army, in behind the other grey, Alborada. They're sitting second and fifth to what looks to be a slow pace by Happy Valentine. Up on the outside, Mutamam, the striped cap. He has made the running in the past, but he's wide on the course. Cloud Castle, the red and white striped cap. Al Mushtarak just in behind them. Insatiable runs the rail. One So Wonderful, the spotted colours white cap, is covered up, but they're very closely grouped indeed. Happy Valentine has taken them all over now to the stands rail, and as they come past the halfway stage, that's the one that leads to Alborada, perfectly poised under George Duffield in second place, getting closer. With the red cap, Sasuru, who's a Group 1 winner in his own right, but reluctant to go to the start, half a mile to go. Then out wide, we've got Mutamam. Dale Army is making ground now on the outside, but Frankie is asking this international jet setter to go to war. The yellow cap running the rail is Insatiable. He can't get enough of Insatiable, but it looks as if Dale Army is beaten his switch to the outside. Chester House with a pink cap now finds room, but they haven't got past Happy Valentine. Still a quarter of a mile to go, but it's Happy Valentine to Alborada. Then on the outside, Mutamam, the striped cap. Dale Army has found reserves from where I know not. Insatiable's in behind them. They race down into the dip, and with just a furlong to go in the Dubai Champion Stakes, it's Alborada, the grey filly. Yellow cap next to the rails comes Insatiable with a strong run. Dale Army is held for a place at best, but it's going to be Alborada's day. At the line, Alborada wins the Dubai Champion from Insatiable, who was running on. Dale Army is third, then Mutamam, One So Wonderful, Chester House, Happy Valentine, Al Mushtarak, Cloud Castle, and the reluctant Sasuru was last. The result then of this Dubai Champion Stakes, it's gone to number 9. Alborada, this homebred Alzeo fellow, at 6 to 1 in the colours of Miss Kirsten Rousing, trained here at Newmarket by Sir Mark Prescott and ridden by George Duffield, one of the longest serving partnerships in racing, and they have prevailed with this Alborada, who reversed placings on One So Wonderful on recent running. One So Wonderful was out with the washing really, but it's Alborada's day, and a very game performance as well by this battle in grey. Second horse home is number 4, Insatiable, putting in a big run next to the rail for second. Third is Dale Army, an honourable third, and still the Godolphin team haven't won the Dubai Champion Stakes, but this filly has. That's Alborada.
Well, she's been really well placed, this filly, by Sir Mark Prescott. And George Duffield knows her well, taking a first prize of £220,000. And you've got to say she's had to work really hard for it. Didn't go a mad gallop early on. Happy Valentine had the rail to run against, and normally blazes off at a really quick pace. Didn't do that today. And George Duffield able to sit quite handy, but as the race began to develop, and we pick him up here, Happy Valentine still just in front. 1 or 2 just beginning to get into the drive position behind, such as Chester House. Dale Army already in trouble. Mutamam coming through on the outside. Insatiable doesn't really have too much racing room at this point. He goes to get the split between Alborada and Happy Valentine. Just has to sit quietly for a minute. Olivier Pellier. That gives Dale Army a chance to come back on the outside. But it was Alborada Only a 3-year-old who powers through.
One so wonderful, had a run so terrible, but she's beaten so far, you can't make too many excuses. The winner drifts across to her right going into the dip, but she doesn't hamper anything. George Duffield pulls his stick through, and we said it time and time again, and again, if you haven't been to Newmarket before, the last furlong is uphill, it demands guts. A quitter can't win here, and she holds on really well, this filly. Insatiable, a good second. George Duffield, one of the, probably, in fact, almost certainly the oldest jockey with a licence, but fitness, expertise, guts, he's got the lot. He's been going a long time and he still competes at the highest level, and days like this make it all worthwhile. But she's a really game filly, John, isn't she?
Oh, really brave, aren't you? Well, we've had lots of new images over the last few years with the airship and one or two other things, and now here's a new cable cam. There's a taut cable runs between two very sturdy pillars, and you'll be getting some, in fact we had some really good shots from it yesterday, remote controlled and things going forward, and we've seen cameras in jockeys' helmets, which I think probably don't give you quite the view that you'd expect. I love the view that we have from the airship, and that camera there, just one more aid to make racing more pleasurable for the viewers. Those pictures coming from a helicopter, but a few heroes from the past coming back here and looking in really good form, very promising. One of David Nicholson's charges, past winner of this race, 1986.
He's a great favourite at Jackdaw's Castle. He rules the roost there still. Won 16 races, 131,000 quid. Tipping Tim, another local. He now lives with Sarah Stafford, just a mile away. And then behind them, Badbury Star, the dual winner of this race, once with Declan Murphy, who's here today, and once with Philip Hyde.
Now, down at the start, Queen of Spades. She's won first time out for each of the last 3 seasons. Can she do it again today under Carl Llewellyn? Locally trained, of course, by Nigel Twiston-Davis. The good news for the stable is that they have won the Best Turned Out award, and the man who's done all the hard work is Scott Joynes, who's with me now. Now, how is she? She hasn't run for a long time.
No, but she's in very good form. She runs well when she's fresh. I prefer her to be, you know, a lot fresher than 100% fit, and now I think she'll run well.
Now, really, what do you think? Because it's asking an awful lot, taking on some real top notches today, but she's got a good chance at the weights.
Yeah, definitely. She's got 10 stone. She'll think she's loose with that weight, carrying me up the gallops every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she give you the good feel?
Yeah, very good feel. She'll, you know, she eats up our gallops. It's a hard hill. Yeah. And she goes well up there.
Well, wish you all the best, and well done on winning the Best Turned Out.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, she could easily have taken the eye catcher along with Side from Malta. Most of them looked well, but Papillon looked the pick. Challenger to look, and Queen of Spades were pluses for Graham, and she got a plus down in the betting ring, along with Dr. Lunt.
Well, there's quite a battle being fought on the rails over Siphon Water. About 4 or 5 bookies have gone 130, but every time they do, they get completely filled in. The big 3 back at work, back it at that price. Queen of Spades very solid at 11-2. It's not easy to get the price. Papillon 6s. Mandis Mantino, not much confidence down here, 7s. Dr. Lunt still solid, 8-1 bar that lot.
Well, in very nearly perfect conditions, perfect underfoot, perfect visibility. Graham, hope you're looking forward to it.
Real joy to call this. Murphy's Gold Cup. Time around the starter, calls them into line. 15 fences to jump.
And they're away, and can Pemberley Place get away with them? He's a little bit slow to go, being chased up by his trainer, who's showing a deft turn of foot. Pemberley Place is on turns. He detached by about 10 lengths of the first, at which the leaders leap safely, and Pemberley Place, he's down tools at the first. That's it, good night. They come down towards the second, and on the inside it's Senor Bertrucci that come up to share the work here, and that leads. They're all safely over the second, with Papillon running fast in second. The white face of Dr. Lunt showing up, followed through by Phillips Woody, then Simply Dashing the outside, and then Queen of Spades tucked up as they take the next one. All safely over the third. That's three they've jumped, and it's Senor Bertrucci, Papillon sitting 1 and 2. Then through into third place goes Phillips Woody. Queen of Spades not that far away, but Tony is sitting towards the back, and so too at this stage is Challenger to Look, the striped cap. Dave Johnson, 2 runners in the race. Cypher Malta's racing about 5th or 6th. And so it's Senor Bertrucci leading as they start the turn in and head past the 2-mile start, and from our new cable cam position we see the grey Senor Bertrucci. Will he be true to you? He leads. 2 in second place, Papillon in second. Queen of Spades, the big mare, making ground through on the inside as they cross the next. And it's Senor Bertrucci still at the head of affairs, Simply Dashing, Dr. Lunt, Mandis Mantino midfield with Phillips Woody. That's the 5th they've taken. Cypher Malta sits on the inside behind Queen of Spades, and Challenger to Look behind Mandis Mantino. Bertoni is at the back. Danger Baby sits wide on the course, but this gallant grey, Senor Bertrucci, he leads, clear by about 3. The Queen of Spades in second, and Papillon third, and Simply Dashing the outside of Dr. Lunt, and then Cypher Malta, followed through by Phillips Woody and Mandis Mantino, and then Challenger to Look and Danger Baby and Bertoni. As they take the 6th, that'll be the last next time round, and they all took it safely and well. The order, with the circuit to go in the Murphy's Golf Cup, is Senor Bertrucci leading, to the Irish runner Papillon in second, and Queen of Spades and Simply Dashing, and then Cypher Malta, followed by Dr. Lunt, who's just been niggled along. Mandis Mantino swinging along nicely. Danger Baby on the outside, Phillips Woody the inner, and Challenger to Look at the back as they take that island fence, and Bertoni is tailing Charlie. Norman Williamson sitting chilly on the horse that was 3rd last year. Swing left-handed and race down the hill to a row of 4 fences of plain, water, open ditch plain, and then that ditch at the top of the hill. And with about 1.5 miles to travel, so they're about at the halfway stage. And here, look at that, Tony McCoy, and the faller there was Senor Bertrucci, and he's brought down Phillips Woody. Both the horses are okay, but Tony is out the back. Danger Baby is towards the rear, and they take the water jump over the next. And the Danger Baby is starting to lose touch now, continuing the run down the far side, and it's Cypher Malta in the lead. Look at those shadows. Cypher Malta, Papillon on the outside as they leap the ditch. Then back in third place is Dr. Lunt, Simply Dashing being ridden along. Behind these Queen of Spades and Mandis Mantino, and then after that one comes Challenger to Look as they cross the next. That's a plain fence, and Bertoni makes ground now. They swing left-handed, go to the top of the hill on the far side, and it's Cypher Malta leading, to Papillon in second place, and then Dr. Lunt is third, and Mandis Mantino followed by Bertoni. Then Simply Dashing and Challenger to Look. That's the ditch at the top of the hill. Dr. Lunt had a long look at it. Queen of Spades is at the back at this stage, and this is where the going gets tough, and it's at the top of the hill. Cypher Malta, who leads by a couple of lengths. Tony McCoy has the Murphy's Gold Cup in his sight. He's clear by about 4 as they start to freewheel down the hill, and with 3 more fences to jump. And it's Cypher Malta clear from the second place Papillon. Dr. Luntz on the outside is closing through Cypher Malta at 3-1. Queen of Spades is out of it 6-1. Papillon under pressure in second, but as they come down towards the third last, what a bold leap by Cypher Malta, and Tony McCoy looks around. He's only a 5-year-old, this Cypher Malta. Dr. Lunt in second, Challenger to Look, and then Papillon and Mandis Mantino, and Simply Dashing is beaten, and Bertoni's never got into it. That was the second from home, and Cypher Malta has surely sealed the fates here of the opposition. For Cypher Malta has won 5 races in this country, and Tony McCoy has gone 72 this season and is on this 5-year-old from the pipe yard. He kicks round the final turn with a surely unassailable lead. Into second place goes Dr. Lunt, and from nowhere Simply Dashing renews a call.
They come down towards the final fence, and it's Cypher Moore who's taking it in the lead. Simply Dashing in second place is rallying up the hill. In third is Dr. Lunt, and it's Cypher Motor. Into second place is Simply Dashing, but he can't close on the leader, Cypher Motor, who wins the Murphy's Gold Cup for Martin Pipe. Look at this Simply Dashing, thrashing home. Anthony McCoy waves at the crowd. You didn't see Lorcan Wire coming up fast on the inside. He does now. Dr. Lunt was third and challenging to look four. Amanda's Mantino 5, and then came Papillon in sixth place, and Danger Baby 7, and Queen of Spades has been pulled up, and Bertoni has been pulled up. Well, it means so much to that man McCoy. Our Anthony has won the Murphy's Gold Cup on number 5, Cypher Malta. But I would imagine when he gets home tonight and reviews the closing stages and gets a shake on the hand there from Richard Dunwoody, who won the race for Dave Johnson a couple of years ago. But here he is, he's driving the horse home. He looks, he waves to the crowd. Meanwhile, on the far side is, oh my goodness me, where did you come from? Oh, well, there we go. Go on then, give them a wave as well. And I should think Lorcan Wire will have one or two words to say, but well done, Tony McCoy. Well done, Cypher Malta. And well done, Martin Pipe. They're triumphant.
Well, the Pipe faithful have had their result. We could have had 9-2, 4, 7-2 in the anti-post market open. Still 3-1 today. The lights who stood up to him, Ladbrokes and the rails, have caught a right old cold. This is a tremendous result for the punters. He should have been shorter. Sheer stubbornness from the bookmaking fraternity kept him as long as 3s. The tremendous result for the punters. Simply Dashing second. Dr. Lunt third, both at 8-1 and 7-1. Real good each-way selections as well. A dreadful burpees for the books.
Well, what a tremendous race this was, and the whole complex changed with the fall of Senor Albatruti. Tony McCoy content to get a lead from the grey, going down to the first fence down the hill. This horse who's normally so sure-footed jumps it perfectly well, just gets too high, pays the penalty, jumps it too well, and Graham Bradley got a real kick in there from Mandy's Mantino, and let's do hope that he's not too bad. Just
number 7 is Sparky Girl, the second to Super Coin in the Mildmay of Fleet last season. Number 8 is Marla from the afternoon. Number 9 is Fiddling the Facts. This mare ran second to Escata Fig at Chepstow last season. If she can repeat that, she'd be in with a chance today. Bit of money for her too. Number 10 is Indian Tracker from the Martin Pipe stable. Chris Moore taking the ride. He's another one who'll be wearing our jockey cam this afternoon in this race. Avro Anson is out. Number 12 is Sailed by the Stars. Steve Wynn, who's wearing a jockey cam as well. Sailed by the Stars is saddled up by Henry Daly. Number 13, the T-Shock, and Richard Dunwoody trying to make it 4 out of 4 here this afternoon. He's in fantastic form, and the T-Shock is as well. The T-Shock boasts a pretty good record of 9 out of 17 wins under National Hunt rules. Number 14 is Teton Mill. This was the anti-post favourite earlier in the week, but has been replaced here on the day. Teton Mill, an outstanding hunter chaser, won 6 of 7 under rules, and the mount this afternoon of Norman Williamson. 15 is Fine Time, saddled up by Amanda Perrott, ridden by Graham Bradley, who made a late switch to this when Senor Albatruti came out earlier in the week. Number 16 is Hymn of Praise, and ridden by Jimmy McCarthy for Oliver Sherwood. And 17 is The Last Fling, the last of these 16 runners coming out onto the course in the Michael Jackson Bloodstock colours, and Seamus Purak taking this ride for trainer Sue Smith. They are the 16 runners for the Hennesy Cognac Gold Cup of 1998. They're now breaking off and going to post on the far side of the course, and they'll jump 21 fences in all. Here's number 14, Teton Mill. Let's watch him go to post.
Teton Mill cantering down there to the start. He has been superseded as favourite by 7 Towers, but still has an excellent chance off only 10 stone 5. Norman Williamson, the man in the saddle, and these are his views about Teton Mill's chances.
Norman, this has been a strongly backed horse since he won at Wincanton. Do you believe he's a worthy favourite?
Possibly a worthy favourite, but not at the price. I think if he was 5 or 6 to 1 joint favourite, I'd say yes. No disrespect to the other horses, but he didn't beat a lot at Wincanton. It looked as though he didn't, but he did it well. He jumps well, he travels well. I'd be a little bit worried now about the ground. He's won in all types, but I would think that he might be better and quicker.
I know Venetia Williams, his trainer, before the race was very worried that he might not be well handicapped at Wincanton. Well, he certainly disproved that theory.
Well, you say that, but on the day, the only horse that you could worry about was Moeller, and he ran no race whatsoever, so she still might be right. He might have beat her a furlong if he was right that day, we don't know. But yes, he did it well at Wincanton.
Good luck to him.
Thank you.
A big step up in class for Teton Mill, but here's a horse who's done it all before. Coombe Hill won this race 2 years ago. Jamie Osborne said when he won on him at Ascot recently, the race in memory of his friend John Durkin, it's one of the most emotional moments of his life, and he really hopes that he can win the race today, mainly because the family who trained this horse, Walter Dennis, who's a dairy farmer in Cornwall, has been so good to him to allow the horse to run at Ascot. But Walter Dennis was asked by Jonathan Powell how he fancied Coombe Hill's chances this time around.
Walter, 2 years ago, Coombe Hill came home in front very impressively, but today conditions are much softer and more testing. Is that a concern for you?
Well, I would think he prefers growing on the faster side of good. Today is the soft side of good, so there you go. You can't have everything, can you?
And of course, the handicapper hasn't looked on you very leniently either. You've got top weight, you're giving weight to a lot of promising young horses. It does look a tough task for you.
Yes, I would agree. He's got a very formidable task, I feel, but he's well, and he looks well, and I hope he's fit enough.
And we saw him win very impressively on his comeback at Ascot. He's clearly in very good form again this season.
Well, he had his problems at the beginning of last season, as you all well know, with his breathing problem. But, well, it seems to have worked, and he's well.
We're looking forward to seeing him.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's no doubt this may be the biggest race of the season. It's one of the biggest gambles of the season. 7 Towers was 9 to 1 with Corals this morning. It's now 3 to 1 and clear favourite. There's no doubt it will start favourite. Teton Mill being the anti-post favourite all week. Easy to back at 5 to 1. The Taoiseach's 5 to 1. Boss Doyle is 8 to 1. With Fiddling the Facts also 8 to 1. Coombe Hill at 10 to 1 along with Fine Time, and Call It a Day. Good money for that one. Now 10 to 1, but it's all 7 Towers.
No.
Well, the starter telling them to get back there. They're very anxious to get underway here in this Hennesy Cognac Gold Cup. Fiddling the Facts just behind the line. That's it. They stand in a better line now. Just 1 or 2 at the back. They're ready and under orders and away. In the Hennesy Cognac Gold Cup of 98, and You Deep is the first to begin from Coombe Hill. Up there too is Marla in the early stages as they go to the first of 21 fences, all over the first OK. Just behind them is Call It a Day in the early stages, followed then by Teton Mill the Grey. Further back then is in the yellow jacket on the near side as they come to the next Hymn of Praise. Jumping up out wider, Indian Tracker in company there with Boss Doyle and Sparky Gale as they continue their journey down the back. That's a view from our jockey cam as they head to the middle one down the side in the Hennesy in the early stages, and all on their feet as they continue their journey down the back. So Coombe Hill is the leader by 3 lengths. To the Taoiseach in second as they come now towards fence number 4, and out very deep on the track, Indian Tracker's rider as carries our jockey cam here. But the leader is Coombe Hill by 2 lengths to You Deep on the inside of the Taoiseach. 1.5 lengths away, then in third is the Grey, followed then Teton Mill, then out wider as Marla as they come to the last one down the back. Indian Tracker's out wider. Call It a Day just behind them, followed by Fiddling the Facts, and well back in the field is Boss Doyle out wider. So too is Sail Sailed by the Stars at this stage from Addington Boy and Fine Tyne, and 7 Towers, the favourite, is second last as they leave the back on the first occasion, and last of all is the Last Fling. The Taoiseach leading them across the top of the course now towards fence number 6. Leads by 3 lengths here to Coombe Hill in second. Then in third is Marla, who's up on the outside. A view from the jockey Cam, the rider of Indian Tracker there. Chris Maud as they head now towards the 6th. And it's the Taoiseach who led over it from Coombe Hill in second. Marla jumps it in third. Then in fourth position, just behind them, You Deep. Followed next in the field then by Call It a Day. Out wider on the track then is Indian Tracker. Followed then by Teton Mill behind them with Fiddling the Facts. Call It a Day about 6 or 7 lengths off the pace as they straighten up for the judge now and head towards fence number 7. The Taoiseach is the leader from Coombe Hill on the far side. Then in third is Marla. You Deep runs fourth from Fiddling the Facts. They're followed then by Teton Mill, who's tucked away on the inside of Call It a Day. Indian Trackers wider out, followed then next in the field in the centre by Boss Doyle. Then Sailed by the Stars and Sparky Gale as we see the view from the jockey Cam coming towards this open ditch, and that's the Taoiseach who jumped it well. The Taoiseach lands over in the lead here from You Deep in second, then Coombe Hill, the 96 winner over on the far side in third, followed by Teton Mill and the Grey in fourth as they head over that one from Marla, then Fiddling the Facts, who's wider out. 2 lengths further back in the field, then Call It a Day from Sailed by the Stars. Indian Trackers wider out on the track, followed then by Fine Tyne behind them. Then Boss Doyle from Sparky Gale as they head towards the next plain fence. Addington Boy behind them. Hymn of Praise well back in the field. Second last is the Last Fling, and the favourite, the very heavily backed 7 Towers, is being shaken up in last position and not responding at all. Heading towards the water now. They jump it only once, and Coombe Hill led over it by a length and a half. To in second, we see the Taoiseach. Then in third is You Deep, followed then by Fiddling the Facts in fourth. Then out deep on the track follows Indian Tracker as they head out of the straight now. Sailed by the Stars is next, followed then by Teton Mill, who's tucked away, going the shortest way on the inside from Marla. Half a length then to Call It a Day, followed by Boss Doyle as they head into the back now. They've opened up a gap of 2 or 3 lengths here at this stage over Sparky Gale and Fine Tyne. Back behind them, the Last Fling from Addington Boy, then Hymn of Praise as they head over the first one down the back. And 7 Towers has almost been pulled up. It's tailed off, I'd say. 15 lengths behind the second last horse, and getting a slap with a whip there from Peter Niven. No response at all. Over that one down the back, and Coombe Hill led there from You Deep. In third place, Teton Mill, who seemed to hit that hard. The Taoiseach is going well in third, followed then by Fiddling the Facts and Indian Tracker behind them. Boss Doyle is getting a bit closer out deep on the track, followed then by Marla, and further back is Call It a Day. The Last Fling being called on for an effort now as they continue their journey towards the second last one down the back. And the Taoiseach now moving up on the outside to throw out a challenge, but ploughed through that one. Pulled up is Addington Boy at the tail of the field, and still a long last is 7 Towers. Along the back of the course now, and they race towards 6 out. And the leader here on the inside is You Deep. The first to rise from the Taoiseach and Fiddling the Facts. Teton Mills now grabbed hold of the bit. Coombe Hill's under pressure from Boss Doyle, has ridden along. 7 Towers has been pulled up. Indian Tracker behind them, followed by Marla. Then the Last Fling, a gap then to Sail by the Stars from Call It a Day and Fine Time. They leave the back now in the Hennesy, and the leader is You Deep by a length. 2 in second. Teton Mill, then in third is Fiddling the Facts. A view from our jockey Cam. Chris Maud getting up there in about 6th position on Indian Tracker as they race now towards 5 out. And on the inside, it's You Deep who's just the leader from Teton Mill, led over it well. Fiddling the Facts in third, mistake by Indian Tracker. Further back then is the Taoiseach, who's now coming under pressure, followed by Sail by the Stars. Then follows Boss Doyle from Marla and the Last Fling. But it's You Deep over on the far side who's just the leader. Teton Mill now just slots in behind, followed then about 6 lengths away by Fiddling the Facts, and then Sail by the Stars, the Taoiseach and Boss Doyle.
4 left to jump in the Hennesy. You deep on the far side, just the leader. Led over at a half length to Teton Mill, who's going well. 8 lengths away then, fiddling the facts from Sail by the Stars. The last ditch now in the Hennesy, and Teton Mill on a tight rein. Races to the lead now. Puts in a mighty leap at it. Leads over it from You Deep. About 8 or 10 lengths then to fiddling the facts. Mistake by Boss Doyle, then Sail by the Stars. A faller there the last fling. As they come to the second last, Teton Mill jumped at 5 in front of You Deep. They're about 8 or 10 lengths to fiddling the facts, followed by Boss Doyle, then Sail by the Stars, Hymn of Praise and Marla. 1 left to jump in the Hennesy, and it's Teton Mill with a commanding break on the field. Jumped it in spectacular style. In second is You Deep, third fiddling the facts, then Boss Doyle. But it's all over as then they come up towards the run-in now. 100 yards left to go, and punched right out. It's Teton Mill who's going to go on and win the Hennesy in a canter. As they go to the line, Teton Mill ease down, wins it by 15 lengths. You Deep is second. Third, fiddling the facts. Fourth, Boss Doyle, followed then by Hymn of Praise in fifth, then Marla sixth, then further back behind them is Sail by the Stars. The rest have been pulled up or didn't complete the course, and they include Fine Time, Call It a Day, Coombe Hill, Sparky Gale, Indian Tracker, also the Taoiseach and Addington Boy. But the winner is Teton Mill. Teton Mill, owned by the Winning Line, trained by Venetia Williams and ridden by Norman Williamson, the winner of the Hennesy Cognac Gold Cup. Second, number 6, You Deep, owned by David Johnson, trained by Martin Fife, ridden by Timmy Murphy. Third, number 9, Fiddling the Facts, owned by Mrs. E. Roberts, trained by Nicky Henderson, ridden by Mick Fitzgerald. And fourth, number 3, Boss Doyle. 7 finished in the Hennesy Cognac Gold Cup. Hymn of Praise was 5th. Marla was 6th, and Sail by the Stars 7th. But there's the winner, no doubt about him. Had it won, I'd say 4 or 5 out.
Venetia Williams, one of the quietest of trainers, lets her horses do the talking. Must have been so excited when this horse off just 10-5.
Of the season. What a way to bring it up. Second, number 3, Caliso Bay, owned by Waters, trained by Oliver Sherwood and ridden by Jamie Osborne. Third by number 5, King Lucifer, owned by A.J. Davis, trained by David Nicholson, ridden by Adrian Maguire. Fourth was Dr. Bones. But this is the winner, the 9-2 winner, Tour Duff Express, giving Norman Williamson his 51st winner of the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Unguided Missile ran so badly, but Tamarindo was always going a little bit left, as expected. But just watch Norman Williamson go to the last fence here. Absolutely definite. What I was talking about before, jockeys being definite at fences, and nobody is more so than Norman Williamson. A great piece of riding, Richard.
What a good thing he must have been running at Plumpton first time out this season. But he was very successful last year. He's well handicapped. He's at the bottom of the handicap. And as with Cool Dawn last year, who went on to win the Gold Cup, horses can improve and go through the handicaps. And I think that this is an exciting horse. They spread eagle them. He set about it from Swinley Bottom. And I'm afraid a lot of them fell out.
Yeah, you have to say the other two were disappointing, Tamarindo and Guided Missile. Perhaps the race came too quickly for them, because that race last week at Cheltenham looked a very, very competitive race, and it did look as if those two could walk all over them. But as you say, different day, different ground, and here we are with a very improved.
To one, the favourite was this Seymour business. Barry Dennis laid £6,000 worth of bets to take out £18,000. It was his Bismarck. He promised on the morning line to go 3. Roy Christie laid a £6,000 to 2. It's now 11 to 4. That's the price against Seymour business. 7 to 2 bar. That brings in Imperial Call. Very well supported Imperial Call. It was a 9 to 2 chance at the tote this morning. 4 everywhere else. 4 on the course now. 7 to 2 chance. And Teton Mill also at 7 to 2. So 1 or 2 bookmakers are calling for Teton Mill. Not the strength of support behind Teton Mill on the course that I anticipated. Escartafi, good support for that, 7 to 1 into 6 to 1. It was 8 to 1 generally this morning, but a week the other horse, Simply Dashing, who was 11 to 2 with top price this morning, is now 6 to 1 on the course, and 1 or 2 bookmakers calling 13 to 2 against it. Challenger to Luck is a 12 to 1 chance, and 3 horses runners up a year but previously have come on to win the King George. It's then you can get 16 to 1 against Super Tactics, 25 to 1 against Mulligan, but the favourite 11 to 4, Seymour Business, to become the 10th horse to win at least 2 King Georges.
Well, anyone who's been watching John Franken trying to put a piece of roofing felt over the commentary position to keep the rain out will not think Channel 4 is very technical, but they're at the cutting edge of technology. That is our cable camera that whizzes along, and it's bringing fantastic pictures along that steel hawser, state-of-the-art stuff, 400-metre long steel hawser that brings you the most tremendous view. Cutting-edge stuff indeed from the team that brings you the most. Well, a fantastic build-up, wet weather or not. This is a race that's really gripped the public's imagination. The mid-season championship. Teton Mill and Seymour Business fighting it out at the top of the market. Will those be the two that prevail, or can Imperial Call complete his rehabilitation by winning a King George to follow his Gold Cup of '96? Gigi's the man who's going to call it. Firstly, the eye catchers. And John, very taken with Challenger Du Luck. He forgives his sort of strange way of running for the way he looks. Escarda and Simply Dashing on course. Escarda, Imperial Call and Seymour Business get the positives from Mac, but they don't like Simply Dashing in the betting.
So they kick away for the Christmas Championship, and they're down towards the first of the 19 fences in the Potemps King George. Early pace with Imperial Call, the grey Teton Mill. Running the inside is Super Tactics there, 1, 2 and 3. Mulligan over in 4th place. Seymour Business, Coombe Hill out wide, Simply Dashing. Escarda, who loves this muddy ground, and Challenger Du Luck sits at the back as they go to the second, which is an open ditch, over which Super Tactics, 5 times the winner around here, will lead, has led. Imperial Call can make the running the Gold Cup winner, but he's sitting in second place. Teton Mill, the grey, goes through into third, and into 4 the outside, Simply Dashing. Followed then by Escarda and Seymour Business on the outside of Escarda followed by Mulligan and Challenger Du Luck, and Coombe Hill sits at the back of the pack. And from our cable cam, they swing towards the back stretch in a line of 4 fences now. And as they come into it, the first of them, continuing this sweeping turn, it's Super Tactics, who's won 13 races, who just has the edge. To a Gold Cup winner in second place, will now coming along to join. They'll be in the air together here at the third. That's Imperial Call over in second place. They're all over the third. Touching down in a third place is Simply Dashing Teton Mill on the inside, with Escarda and Seymour Business running in green and colours today of the Barber Keithley partnership. They're all over the ditch, the second fence down the back straight. And still Super Tactics, who has the edge here. Quite a short run before they come towards the third fence in this stretch of the track. Super Tactics, Imperial Call 1 and 2, and then Teton Mill and Simply Dashing and Escarda followed by Seymour Business, and after that one is Challenger Du Luck, and then on the outside, or the one nearest to us, is Mulligan with the yellow sleeves. As they cross the next, Coombe Hill is finding it all a bit much, and there's detached by some way. It's a good strong pace here set by Super Tactics. The record for this race was 5 minutes 45. The late one man has that record. Imperial Call sits second, and Teton Mill goes through into third place. Seymour Business not in the picture at the moment, the 11-4 shot. Teton Mill at 7-2 with Imperial Call. Escarda is 6-1 chance as they come down the home run and towards fence number 7, first of 3 in the home straight. And it's Super Tactics on the inside of Imperial Call, sitting 1 and 2, and Teton Mill going in third and Simply Dashing 4. And Escarda and Challenger Du Luck and Mulligan. Seymour Business tucked in on the tail end of those, and it's just a mistake there, Seymour Business. And having been outpaced at one stage, Coombe Hill is just trying to tug himself onto the back of the action-packed field, come down towards what will be the last next time round, 9th on this occasion. And Imperial Call on the outside of Super Tactics at 1 and 2, going into third place and cruising nicely. Teton Mill is in third. Seymour Business is towards the back of the pack in the green colours there, moving through on the inside of Mulligan, and Challenger Du Luck seats at the back as well. And Seymour Business starting a bit of a charge, and as they begin the turn towards the back straight, it's Super Tactics and Imperial Call, who are still 1 and 2. Head away to the water jump. Go down towards the water jump then, and they're starting to punch, and Imperial Call hits the front here. Coombe Hill again a little bit outpaced, and they race away down towards fence number 11. And at this stage, chaps, Teton Mill, the grey going well, Seymour Business on the outside.
Yeah, Teton Mill's been jumping well throughout. Seymour Business has been struggling, but I think as the race begins to get on, I think you'll probably find him getting back into the race. But the 3 horses in front have been jumping the best of all, and Ascot, he's close enough if he's good enough.
And Simply Dashing made a mistake going away at that ditch there, the 12th in the red colours. They begin the swing right-handed, and it's Imperial Call under Mick Fitzgerald, who leads to, on the inside, in second place, Super Tactics, the grey. Teton Mill is in third place, and Ascot has tucked himself on the tail end of those. That's fourth, and these 4 have gone clear of Seymour Business and Challenger to Look as they head down the far straight into driving rain. And Teton Mill, this graduate from the point-to-point field, comes up to press Imperial Call. They're in the air together. Escartafigue's in third place. And then back in fourth place is Seymour Business on the outside of Challenger to Look. They're clear of Simply Dashing, who's given up. They go down towards the next one. And Teton Mill in the lead to Imperial Call in second. And then in third is Escartafigue. They're the big 3 players now. And they're about 10 lengths clear of the fourth placed horse, which is Super Tactics, and then Challenger to Look. Head down towards the 5th from home in the Potemps King George. And it's Teton Mill in the lead. The Irish Raider, Imperial Call, sits second place now, but Escartafigue, this giant, huge, raw-boned horse, comes through up on the outside under Richard Johnson, but he stumbles into that, and that's surely put pay to his chances as they start the turn in. And look at this. It's Teton Mill. He's won 7 from 8, and Norman Williamson. This horse has never been out of the 2 in all the races he's contested under rules, and as they come to the top of the home run, he's put daylight between himself and a toiling Gold Cup winner in Imperial Call. And on the outside of the Imperial Call is Escartafigue, a long, long way back to Challenger to Look. This is simply annihilation as Teton Mill, with 3 more fences to jump in the Potemps King George, comes to it. He takes it well, and the ghost of one man, the grey, Desert Orchid, a grey. Is it going to be another white Christmas for the Christmas champion? Here we are, 2 out. Teton Mill, what a superb jump clear from a champion novice in Escartafigue. A Gold Cup winner is legless in third place. Just 1 more fence to jump, and Norman Williamson looks round on Teton Mill. He's 12-15 clear of Escartafigue. This is the last. He comes to it now. He pops over safely, but he's tired. Escartafigue nicks it running, but he's 12 lengths down. Will not make up the deficit. And so Teton Mill, another grey, becomes a Christmas champion. No snow down the south, but it's a white wonder as Teton Mill comes home. Escartafigue comes home in the second place. A Gold Cup winner in Imperial Call is third, and the only other horse to finish will be the top number 1 Challenger to Look, who was second last year and fourth this. And so Teton Mill has indeed cut across the chasm of class. He's gone from a handicapper. He hosed up in the Hennesy. What did he do in the Potemps? He pulverized them. The colours of the winning line successful. Venetia Williams trains at Hereford and has a grey wonder in her yard. Norman Williamson on his 53rd winner of the season, and Norman Williamson came home here on this Potemps King George, a 6th winner. Second was number 3 Escartafigue. Third was number 4 Imperial Call. 9 ran, 4 finished.
Teton Mill, the horse many people thought would go off favourite for the King George, didn't. Touched 4-1 on the course, returned 7-2, joint second favourite, and wins by 6 lengths, that Teton Mill. The runner-up Escartafigue at 6-1. Imperial Call was third at 7-2, and they sent Seymour Business off, the 11-4 favourite, the Barry's Bismarck, and what a dismal race that Seymour Business ran. But this Teton Mill, an extraordinary performance. He's the 9th Hennesy winner in the same year to come on and run in the King George, and he's the 6th to complete the double. A very, very good record indeed. He joins horses like Borough Hill Lad, who completed the double. Bachelor's Hall did it, Arkle, Millhouse, and of course the great Mandarin back in the inaugural Hennesy year of 1957 also won the King George that year. Those are the greats that Teton Mill has joined. He now must surely be challenging Florida Pearl for favouritism for the Tote Gold Cup. But we've seen an outstanding horse here, Teton Mill. The greys continuing, and the public have really latched on to Teton Mill just as they did to One Man and Desert Orchid.
Well, jumping's the name of the game, and this fella jumped from fence to fence, and the last fence on the far side, he must have got 2 or 3 lengths at it. Never, let's say, never came out of a canter. He's had to work hard at the straight, but he was running over them from a long way out. A repetition, there you go, that's 4 out. Look at the distance he covered in the air. Imperial Call jumped it well, but this horse left him for dead. And Joe Tizard, rider the favourite.
Carl, winning combination last, but he's up against it with the top 2. Then Robert Thornton on Master Bevels. Not that far behind Isterbrack, was he, the last 2 runs, but he's tilting pretty high again this afternoon. And Richard Johnson on Wakeel, who ran well here early in the season, but looks in pretty deep against this lot. And so as they go to hack off towards the start, we take a break, rejoin them before the tapes are up.
The Currys sale is now on, with huge reductions on washers, fridges, cookers, TVs, hi-fis and more. Currys, the sale for you.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Lovely to see you, Alison.
You never stop wanting to protect your loved ones. One way you can is to make sure you have adequate life insurance. This can be so simple and straightforward. In fact, if you're between 50 and 80, you're guaranteed to be accepted for low-cost life insurance with the Sun Life Over 50 plan. Just £6 a month guarantees a cash sum which could help with funeral costs or be left to a child or grandchild. You don't have to take a medical or answer any questions about your health. Find out more. Call free on 0800 60 80 30 and Sun Life will send you a helpful pack. You'll be under no obligation or pressure. No salesman will call. Apply now and choose a free gift to welcome you as a policyholder. You'll also get your first month's cover free if you act straight away. Protecting your loved ones can be so simple with the Sun Life Over 50 plan. Call 0800 60 80 30 now. And then get on with celebrating life.
At the home-based sale, there are thousands of great items coming down in price, including up to 30% off all showers. So get down to the home-based sale now.
For a safer drive, the new generation Citroën Xantia with Activa suspension minimizes body roll.
Join the party. Call 0930 18 18 18 now. That's 0930 18 18 18. Call the party now.
Oh.
Oh, no.
One of those days? Tell someone about it.
I had to send him to work in pink knickers. I thought you Brits were so reserved.
BT, it's good to talk.
Welcome back as the Christmas hurdle gets underway. Coming to the first flight now for the big race of the weekend over hurdles. Here's Graham.
Dato Star using a big stride to leap the first in the lead, and he gets away with it in good style. This giant horse, French Holly, in the dark blue jacket worn by Andy Thornton, is in second. Look at the difference in size between even the leader and the second horse. And then last year's winner Karawi showing in a share of third with Master Bevelwood and Wakeel. If he beats just one horse, the owners will pick up nearly £2 grand in prize money. Plenty of money on offer here in this Grade 1 race. Thames Christmas Hurdle. And Champion Hurdle aspirations with Dato Star and indeed French Holly. This huge horse on the inside, 1 and 2. Little tit of a thing, Karawi whizzing round the inside, probably run underneath French Holly. Wouldn't know where it's come from. Then we've got Master Bevel the outside of Wakil, and they race away towards flight number 3. Going into it, Dato Star and French Holly together. And possibly there, Karawi not as fluent as the others on this very tacky ground. Head down towards the next. Dato Star even money. Playing second fiddle now to French Holly. And so they begin the turn out of the back straight. French Holly, Dato Star, 1 and 2. And then Wakil, Master Bevelwood and Karawi. Little to choose between those 3 for a share of third. But the big players here, Dato Star, a winner of 6 over hurdles. French Holly, a winner of 7. This gentle giant. If you manage to come racing and you have the opportunity of going and getting a close look at French Holly, we just simply draw breath. Go down towards flight number 5, come halfway then in the Thames Christmas Hurdle with French Holly and Dato Star. 1 giant stride for French Holly is 2 at anybody else's. Dato Star skipping along. Master Bevelwood, who gives you a form line with Istabrack as Dato Star just starts to hang in a little bit behind French Holly. Kendall Cavalier triumphant at Chepstow. So, big day for Rob Millman, but it could be a big day for Ferdy Murphy here because his French Holly leads. Wise men follow the star, they say. We're only 3 at the moment on Dato Star, with back in 3rd place as they just start to wind the temperature up a little bit. Back in 3rd is Master Bevel. That's the form line to Istabrack. He's played 2nd and 3rd to Istabrack, has the horse in 3rd place at the moment, Master Bevel. They've pulled well clear of Karawi and a hard-ridden Rakil, but look at this fella lengthening on this glue pot ground. Big horses. French Holly starts the turn in with victory in his sights as they come down the home run in the Christmas Hurdle race. And it's French Holly, decked about with boughs of holly. He's clear by about 8 or 10 lengths, coming down towards the second last. Still 2 to jump though. Watch him go. French Holly down towards the second last. Ears pricked. He scrambles through it to a 2nd place Master Bevel. Dato Star is looking one-paced and weary in this ground. Come down towards the final flight now. And French Holly in a clear, unassailable lead. If he jumps, this is the last. He pops over it. He just steps over it. In the 2nd place is Master Bevel, who's running on very gamely. But it's easy peasy for French Holly. Master Bevel rousted along for a 2nd. Dato Star is 3rd. But French Holly storms away with the Thames Christmas Hurdle. An impressive, easy win. Ears pricked. Great Champion Hurdle trial that. 2nd horse home is Master Bevel. Dato Star a 1-place 3rd. Karawi won the race last year in a different parish, and he turned up Wakil. He had a run round Wakil, but that was as good as he got, because this is a huge horse. Yes, certainly is. Very important there. The Cora Welsh National won by Kendall Cavalier, but surely a major Champion Hurdle here. Smurfit Champion Hurdle contender in French Holly in the colours of Mr. K. Flood, trained at Leyburn by Ferdy Murphy, who will have a beam from ear to ear, wisely so. Amazing horse this, kept over 2 miles, kept hurdling, and all the pundits would want you to send him chasing, but he's just got speed and so much ability. And then delighted Andy Thornton, his 26th winner of the season. And that will raise the temperature and lower his temperature all at the same time.
French Holly, an 11-4 chance, and the officers this morning did touch 11-4 on the course, returned the clear 5-2, 2nd favourite, completes an 8.5-1 double for Andrew Thornton, won on Ho Express at 7-4 in the opener. Master Bevel, runner-up at 15-2, 4th favourite, the form line with Istabrack, some will say is clear, and that puts French Holly very much in the Champion Hurdle picture. As for the enigmatic Dato Star, 3rd, sent off the Eva Money favourite, a horse that so many of us can never get right. Once again, the bookmakers relish heavy backing for Dato Star. Very disappointing, the evens favourite, but that French Holly, 5-2, now certain to be clear 2nd favourite for the Smurfit Champion Hurdle.
Outstanding performance then. I'm going to try and get a quick word with the man on board. Well done, Ferdy, the trainer. And how do you feel now?
Oh, Derek, top of the world.
I bet you are. Is that the best pick me up?
Winner just to perk you up.
I bet it is. Now, what was that like? It looked magnificent.
Quite exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. He's just in good form.
Yeah.
Good form. He's just coming to himself.
More to come.
Hopefully more to come.
And is he better at 2.5 or 2? What are your thoughts?
Who knows?
Yeah.
He's won today.
Well, the trainer's saying 2-2, and is it the champion hurdle 30 after this?
Yeah. Well, he'll go to Ireland for the AIG and then Cheltenham.
He's a magnificent horse. You pulled him back to this race.
No, we didn't pull him back. It's just he's a big horse and he takes time to get there. You know.
Yes.
You can't be hard on him yet in the season and. Kieran said he wanted him in Cheltenham in A1 condition, and that's the way we're going, you know.
Well, that's where you're going. Congratulations.
Thanks, Derek.
Well done.
Well, it's always been a lucky course, this, for Andrew Thornton. Took the King George last year, of course, with Seymour Business, ran the Racing Post Trophy.
Small race at Cheltenham on Gold Cup Day.
Absolutely.
No, that's not
I was
here,
actually combining it to Kempton. I'm not sure that...
But did you notice that typical Andrew Thornton gesture, the same one as when he came back from Cool Dawn, pointed to the horse as if it was all the horse's fault? Well, this horse looks very special indeed when he looks special. Graham Good called it a great champion hurdle trial. It's hard to quantify it, right? You can get a line, Master Bevel, Mr. Brack, but he does look awesome on his going days, and Ferdy Murphy saying he's a big horse. It takes time to get him ready, and at least this looks like a proper standard bearer for the English to try and repel Isterbrack with.
Yes, a powerful display. First number 2, French Holly, 5-2. Second number 4, Master Bevel at 15-2. Third number 1, Dato Star, the even money favourite. The winner paying £3.20 on the tote to a £1 stake. Places 140 and £2.10. Dual forecast 680 and the straight forecast 1673. 5 rand.
Well, Kieran, the owner, he's back with a vengeance. Any doubts earlier on in the season?
No, we had a couple of setbacks, as you know. We ran a race in Ascot, and in hindsight, it was our fault, not the horse's fault. So when we went to the fighting fifth, that was really his first race since Cheltenham. 5 lengths behind Dato Star, and Dato Star is a very good horse, lost nothing in defeat today. We were 8 lengths ahead of Legendary Lion, who went on to finish third in the Bula. So we were quite happy with the run in hindsight, and we thought we did improve a little bit. I have to say, he did surprise me how much he improved, but delighted to see how much he improved, and in fairness, we think there might be a little bit more in him.
We've seen Isterbrack just coasting up. Do you think you can get him off the bridle, or even more?
I think, in fairness, Isterbrack is a magnificent animal. Unfortunately, sometimes animals wake up, they don't feel good in the morning. Realistically, we're all running for second place. But I'd hate not to be there the day Isterbrack might have a bad day. That's the way I look at it. I'd be quite happy to be second to a horse as good as Isterbrack. But you never know. Racing is all about uncertainty, and we'll take our chances.
And remind us about getting this horse, because it was only about 3 years ago, and he's been absolutely brilliant all the way through.
That's right.
He must have looked enormous when you first got him, because he's big enough now.
Well, actually, we owned him for 2 months before we ever saw him. He was bought on a shake hands at Ascot racecourse, and I would have to say it's Marie, my wife, who was the person who persuaded me to buy, so she has to take the credit, really.
Well, he's some animal. He's bigger than you are.
That's saying something, isn't it?
Many congratulations. We'll see you at Cheltenham.
Hopefully. Thank you very much indeed.
Now the big race result at Chepstow, the Cora Welsh National. It did indeed go to number 12, Kendall Cavalier, at 14-1. Fine win for trainer Nigel Hawke there. Kendall Cavalier, formerly trained by Rob Millman, now with the Grand National winning pilot Nigel Hawke, who won on Seagram, of course, and Kendall Cavalier is surely on course for Aintree himself. 14-1. Second number 5, Fiddling the Facts, who finished strongly at 11-2. And third number 9, Forest Ivory, at 14-1. Last year's winner, the Grand National hero Earth Summit, at 9-2, started favourite and was beaten a long way from home, as was Dom Samurai, who was tailed off at halfway. 14 rand.
Bookmakers particularly impressed with French Holly. Early indication 6-1 with Ladbrokes, 7-1 with William Hill. It's roughly even money, and 11-10 Isterbrack to retain his title. But if you want to bet now on the Ericsson Chase runners in the Tote Gold Cup, well, Florida Pearl is top price 9-2, second favourite. Florida Pearl behind 4-1. Teton Mill is then Sunny Bay. You can get 14-1 against Sunny Bay for Cheltenham, and Doran's Pride third in the last 2 Gold Cups, 14-1 to go 2 better in March. Boss Doyle's put it at a pony, 25-1. But remember, just less than 48 hours ago, Teton Mill was 16-1 before he won the King George for the Gold Cup. He's now 4-1 favourite. I don't think we're going to see a dramatic slashing in odds, whoever wins the Ericsson, but now could still be the time to get the value.
Before we go, what happened to Dato Star, the favourite who finished third there? I talked to Malcolm Jefferson. He said, I don't like making excuses, but Lorcan thought he just wasn't right behind, and that might just have been the reason why he could finish only third. But now let's concentrate on the richest race of the day, the £75,000 Ericsson Chase. There are only 6 runners, but it brings together possibly the best of the Irish and certainly the best of the English. Sunny Bay is officially the best steeplechaser in Britain, and he's travelled to Leopardstown today to represent Britain. But let's check out the runners and riders. Boss Doyle 8-1, Shea Barry. Buck Rogers used to be a good horse a few years ago, on the way back, 33-1. Brian Bowen, son of the trainer. 3, Doran's Pride, 4-1 shot, one of the best horses in Britain and Ireland. Paul Carberry rides that. Florida Pearl, the long-awaited seasonal debut, the 11-10 favourite, Richard Dunwoody, rides Florida Pearl, unbeaten 5 out of 5. Number 5 is Merry People, the complete 200-1 outsider, Jason Titley. And there's the British representative, Sunny Bay, Graham Bradley, at 2-1. Well, runners and riders, Boss Doyle 8-1, Shea Barry. Buck Rogers used to be a good horse a few years ago, on the way back, 33-1. Brian Bowen, son of the trainer. 3, Doran's Pride, 4-1 shot, one of the best horses in Britain and Ireland. Paul Carberry rides that. Florida Pearl, the long-awaited seasonal debut, the 11-10 favourite, Richard Dunwoody, rides Florida Pearl, unbeaten 5 out of 5. Number 5 is Merry People, the complete 200-1 outsider, Jason Titley. And there's the British representative, Sunny Bay, Graham Bradley, at 2-1. Well, can another grey do it? Sunny Bay, officially the best steeplechaser in Britain. He travelled to Leopardstown with a 100% record this season, and he's had 11 wins from 20 races and £360,000 in prize money. But what about Florida Pearl? Is he the new Arkle? He's never been beaten. A brilliant winner of the Sun Alliance. But today he takes on the big boys for the first time, and we'll find out just how good Florida Pearl actually is. And there's also Doran's Pride, without doubt one of the best chasers you'll find anywhere, and his career record of 23 wins from 37 starts and nearly £500,000 in prize money speaks for itself. Well, before we concentrate on the Ericsson Chase, let's get up to date now with the trophy presentation for the Potemps Christmas Hurdle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the high point of our second day of the Potemps Christmas Festival, the Potemps Christmas Hurdle, and won in a convincing style by French Holly. Andrew Thornton, having taken a couple of rides out to recover himself, bringing that horse home in very, very comfortable style indeed. Tim Watts, the group chairman of Potemps, is here with us to make the trophy presentation of this splendid Silver Cup to the winning owner. And I'd like you to welcome with you a well-deserved round of applause, Mr. Kieran Flood.
Well, I've now been joined by Alistair Down and John Frank. I mean, the big question here, Florida Pearl. This is the big question.
It's graduation day for Florida Pearl. This is the best Gold Cup trial. You'll see you've got the best chaser in these islands, Sunny Bay or over here. Doran's Pride, third in 2 Gold Cups, and can Florida Pearl make the transition? You know, Ascot figures a line from last year's Sun Alliance to Saturday's King George. It's all there.
Let's just have a quick look at the betting, because at the moment we've got even money favourites, and that is Florida Pearl. But John Frankham, I mean, Florida Pearl hasn't run since winning at Cheltenham in March. Not only has he taken the big boys on today, it's his first run for a long time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the end of the world if he got beaten this afternoon. What they just want to see is for this horse to jump well. The growing sticky, you've just got to listen to them going around there this afternoon. Sunny Bay, he wasn't quite as impressive last time. You know, he had things in his favour at Haydock. So you'd just probably be slightly worried about that. I thought Old Boss Door's got half a chance.
Yeah, he ran well.
There's a Hennesy line there because we're giving lots of weights to Cheatham Mill. I mean, John says it wouldn't be the end of the world if Florida Pearl beat fine, but it'd be a new experience. It ain't been beaten before, and this is the test.
The magnificent trophy awaits the winner. It's certainly worth winning this, but, you know, Boss Door possibilities, but people are forgetting Doran's Pride. Richard Dunwoody has elected to get off Doran's Pride. It must be some horse this, if he's got off Doran's Pride, to ride Florida Pearl.
Well, you know, he's been associated with Florida Pearl, and so far what we see of him, he looks exceptional. And, you know, I'd love to see the horse go and win if Sunny Bay doesn't. But I just think the ground's plenty soft enough for Doran's Pride. You know, he's won on soft ground, but he's a much better horse when the ground's on the faster side.
He's a lovely big horse. I heard from Dublin this morning about Florida Pearl that they've got him as fit, obviously, as they possibly can be, and they think he's nearly as fit as he was at Cheltenham last season.
It'll be interesting to see, really, how he jumps against these experienced chasers and whether they can get him at it at all. But this is, as I say, it's graduation day, and this enormous reputation of this horse, and he's never let the Irish down to date.
No.
You know, at Cheltenham, this was the one they wanted most of all after Istabrack, because it's the chaser and it's the new standard bearer for Irish steeplechasers.
It's going to be all about jumping, and Sunny Bay is just about the best jumper we've got in Great Britain.
I'm just worried with the Summit getting beat at Chepstow. The form of that race at Haydock might just have been let down.
He didn't look as impressive there as he did when he won up the first time, with the form of which has turned out well. So, you know, you forgive him that run if he didn't. He won. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
And he just jumps.
So how do you see the race going? Tactics in this?
I don't know, it depends entirely what sort of pace they go with the first few, Johnny.
Yeah, I think they'll go a decent gallop. Sunny Bay, you know, he wants a good strong gallop. I just think he'll be up there in the first 2 or 3. You'll have Florida Pearl and Boss Door chasing him, turning for home, and I think they'll have a fair old slog over the last, well, around the bend and up the straight.
Well, Cheatham Mill put in an outstanding performance here on Saturday, so we're looking for one of these to put in a truly outstanding performance today, and if he does, then the clash at Cheltenham in March for the Gold Cup will be worth something very, very special.
Well, we ideally like to see Florida Pearl this, and then you have the clash between the rising stars, the new kids on the block who've impressed so much this season. I mean, but this is absolutely the day to see how good he is.
Unsingable boxer, of course, you know, has to come into calculations. He's a young,
Well, on nothing he's shown so far. Yeah. The fact he's trained by a genius and has been backed at long odds is no qualification. 11 to 10, just easing Florida Pearl from evens, and we're in for a fascinating tussle.
I disagree. Unsinkable boxers definitely got to come into calculations.
That's the beauty of racing. It's all about opinion, isn't it? But this isn't about opinion. This is fact. Let's go live to Leopardstown, the Ericsson Chase. Let's pick up the commentary of Tony O'Hare.
This is run towards the first of 17 fences. Sunny Bay, the second favourite, running in third, being followed by Merry People. Favourite Florida Pearl at the back as they go out over the first and make their way to fence number 2. The first of the ditches, Boss Doyle, blinkered for the first time today in an effort to encourage him in the early part of the race, and it certainly had that effect. He's in front, leading by 1.5 lengths to Doran's Pride, followed by Sunny Bay, and a gap to Buck Rogers, with Florida Pearl racing alongside Merry People at the back. Heading down towards fence number 3, Boss Doyle, Shea Barry leading by 1/2 length, Doran's Pride. Paul Carberry jumps up alongside, Sunny Bay's in third. Breakdown of over 4 lengths to Florida Pearl and Buck Rogers. Merry People is last of the 6 as they go on towards the 4th fence, another plain one. Boss Doyle, the grey Sunny Bay, and between them Doran's Pride. They're about 5 lengths clear of Buck Rogers, followed by Florida Pearl, and Merry People is in rear. Going now towards the first of the open ditches, fence number 5, Doran's Pride, ridden for the first time today by Paul Carberry, leading from Sunny Bay. The grey on the outside, Boss Doyle close in third, and 3 of them some way clear of Buck Rogers and Florida Pearl jumping together, followed by Merry People as they turn out of the back straight and face up towards the 6th. Doran's Pride leads, Boss Doyle second in the blinkers. Left of the picture, Sunny Bay. Break then to Buck Rogers, Florida Pearl, the red and white colours, and then Merry People. They start the turn into the straight for the first time. A long run to fence number 7. Doran's Pride, the big noseband. Blinkers, Boss Doyle, then Sunny Bay. Gap then of 5 or 6 lengths to Florida Pearl, who's followed by Buck Rogers and Mary People, the complete outsider, last of the 6 runners as they come down towards fence number 7. Boss Doyle on the right, Dorn's Pride in the centre, Sunny Bay behind them in third, about 4 lengths back to the white face of Florida Pearl, and then the 2 outsiders, Buck Rogers and Mary People, who's struggling already as they come up to pass the stands with a complete circuit ahead of them. Dorn's Pride shows fractionally ahead of Boss Doyle. Sunny Bay with them on the near side, a big cheer from the huge crowd as these big name chasers go towards fence number 8. Dorn's Pride, Boss Doyle the inside, Sunny Bay close in third, and the favourite Florida Pearl having his first run of the season about 3 lengths behind the grey, and already clear of Buck Rogers and Mary People, who's last of the 6. This is the 8th, Dorn's Pride, centre of the picture. Sunny Bay on the left, Boss Doyle on the right, Florida Pearl, Richard Dunwoody 3 to 4 lengths adrift. Buck Rogers losing touch and Mary People a long way behind as they come towards the 9th.
Well, fellas, as they swing at the back straight, Florida Pearl's going. Florida Pearl lobbing along in 4th. How do you think he's going?
He's going well enough, Tom, and the crucial thing to date, he's jumped everyone well.
Yeah, he's certainly done that. He's just got himself slowly into the race. He's jumped his way there almost. But I thought Dorrance Prize travelling well in front.
Well, the grey's beginning to come under pressure. It's beginning to hot up. Let's go back live to Leopardstown. Tony O'Hare.
And also Mary People. First down the back. Florida Pearl jumps up closer there, but Dorrance Pride has the lead by 1.5 lengths. Sunny Bay in second. Boss Doyle pushed along in third. Florida Pearl right behind them, and it's a distance back to Buck Rogers. Mary People has been pulled up as they come towards the next 7 from home. A mile to race in the Ericsson. Dorrance Pride in the lead, jumps it well. Followed by Boss Doyle and Sunny Bay together, and Florida Pearl just in behind them. Buck Rogers right out of contention as they come towards the second ditch, 6 from home. Dorrance Pride leads by just over a length to Sunny Bay. Boss Doyle on the inside and Florida Pearl right with them. And Dorrance Pride hit that one hard, and Paul Carberry did well to keep the partnership intact. Sunny Bay in second, Boss Doyle third, Florida Pearl close in 4th as they go to the next plain fence, 5 from home. Dorrance Pride, better jump that time. Sunny Bay second, Florida Pearl lands third past Boss Doyle, who's been driven along as they race now towards 4 from home, and Dorrance Pride opens up a lead of over 3 lengths, but Florida Pearl travelling easily now into second. Sunny Bay labouring a bit in third. Boss Doyle has lost touch as they jump 4 from home. Dorrance Pride from Florida Pearl, and they've gone away from Sunny Bay, and Boss Doyle struggling. Buck Rogers continuing on a long way behind as they race towards the final ditch, and it's Dorrance Pride, Paul Carberry leading, Florida Pearl the favourite, Richard Dunwoody 2 lengths between them, and they're a long way clear now of Sunny Bay, who's almost to come to a standstill, being passed by Boss Doyle as they jump at Florida Pearl. Florida Pearl is gone, hit it hard and gave Richard Dunwoody